Hoot, 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 hoot. Welcome back, all ya owls. How are you? Sorry about that. Oh my god, I was running late again. I very last minute decided to make myself dinner. And I have my din right in front of me. Yes, I have my fun din-din-dins in front of me. So let's go eat our din-dins together. And let's have a nice fun chat tonight about what's been going on this week. My weekly Athy catch-up, or my cozy clinic, as I like to call it. Hello, everybody. Thank you for those of you who showed up early. I'm so sorry for this very last minute stream. It's very much a guerrilla stream, but I'm glad all you owls are here. Also, let me just say before I start, thank you, Makie, for being a clinic owl for 1 whole month. I'm so happy to have you here as part of my Pill Owl community. Yeah, and my lovely clinic owl as well. Thank you for all the congratulations too, guys. I'm honestly so shocked by all the support that you guys have given me on my exam. I was just like, this is not even that important of an exam, but you guys are just so supportive. And we worked really hard to get here. So I can officially say that I am Athy RN CPN. I'm very happy about it. I know. Girl, this is no longer known as a super early breakfast. Jack, let me tell you something, Jack. I'm a night owl for a reason, okay? This is technically my breakfast, Jack. All right? This is technically my brekkie. Brek. I should have been like, Athy is eating brek instead. So yeah, the exam was not as bad as I thought, and I'm gonna get into a little more detail about that later. But yeah, so I want to apologize again for not posting the schedule ahead of time, because right after my exam, I had to go run some errands, and then the day after, I've been working for the past 2 nights, although they have been wonderful nights, so I cannot complain. So I've just been taking a break, rewarding myself with things that I enjoy doing and enjoy eating. And then I just came off of work this morning. I took a nice long sleep, and then I woke up, and then I made some din-dins, and I have what did I make? I made some salmon, and for the first time, I decided to make creamed spinach, because I just have this block, literally this brick of frozen spinach in my freezer that I haven't used in, I don't know, months. So I thought, okay, creamed spinach would be like the perfect recipe for a frozen brick of spinach. The only problem was I have no cream, but I'm so big brain, and I swear to God, guys, sign me up for MasterChef or something like that, because this tastes so freaking good. I replaced the heavy cream with cream cheese, with Philadelphia cream cheese. It's very simple because the salmon itself is already heavily seasoned. So it's a very simple recipe. All it is just some frozen spinach. I put like a slab of butter on the skillet, put a ton of garlic, a ton of onion, just so caramelize that for a little bit, then add your spinach, and then add the cream cheese. It's cream cheese, pepper, and like a little pinch of nutmeg, because I got that from one of like the online recipes that nutmeg helps enhance the flavor a little bit. No salt, just cream cheese, pepper, nutmeg, and then add some water to make it to your desired consistency, right? If you want it a little more watery, then add more water. If you want it less, then obviously you can like cook it off a little more. And I kid you not, this is a pretty bomb cream spinach. And then on top of that, add a little bit of Parmesan cheese at the very end. Just sprinkle on some good quality Parmesan Reggiano. Let that melt a little bit, and then lo and behold, you have nice, creamy, cream cheese spinach basically. And oof, let me tell you guys, it's delicious. Yeah. The spinach is still good and frozen, okay? It's frozen. Anyways, that's what I'm eating right now. it might go a little cold just because I'm chatting. But if you hear me just like pause randomly and kind of like chew, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try not to chew so loudly on the microphone because I know some people are really like triggered by chewing noises. Anywho, Milky says I read some recipes that use cream cheese instead of heavy cream. Yeah. I don't, because my family doesn't really eat, or I don't really eat dairy products. The only dairy products I eat are yogurt and cheese. I don't use cream or creamers, dairy creamers or milks or anything like that. Yeah. So where should I start? Firstly, I want to say I missed you guys. And how are you guys? How has your week been so far? It is already Friday. That's crazy. And it's almost Halloween. I hope you guys have had a very relaxing, not uneventful or not stressful week. Ooh, is this a mukbang? I'm not gonna show, well, should I? My cutlery is very, very reflective, so I'm not going to show my food on stream, but I will show you next time when I make cream spinach. I will show you. So you just imagine I'm eating some sort of like salmon and cream spinach situation, but please tell me how you guys are. It's been great. Okay, I'm glad. I hope nothing too crazy has been happening to you guys this week. I've had a pretty chill week, other than the fact that on Monday it was a very stressful exam. But yeah, I've been meaning to stream for a bit, but it's just because Monday and then Tuesday, Wednesday. I was working Tuesday night and then Wednesday night to now. Well, it's Friday morning, but technically for me it feels like Thursday night. So I'm planning to stream, and then I'm working again tomorrow. Well, tonight I'm working. No, not tonight. Shoot, I'm working tonight. Oh, fudge. So yeah, it's kind of a hectic schedule this week because I scheduled myself to be like 2 shifts. So working 2 shifts on, 1 off, 2 shifts on, 1 off, and then 2 shifts on again. So it's like 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off, 2 on. So it's a little bit, there's really no buffer for me to recover from the night shift. So I really just have to be on night shift the next 2 weeks, basically. So if you realize that my streams are really, really, really late, that's because I'm purposely trying to keep myself awake at this time because my work schedule is going to be all nights for like the rest. Usually I like to schedule myself like 3 in a row and then take like 2 days off or 3 days off. That way it gives me like at least a day to recover from night shift so I can get back on day shift or something like that. But really not going to give me much of an opportunity to recover on day shift if I only have 24 hours off between each shift, basically. So tonight I have another double. So that's the situation. That's why it's been a little bit hectic, and it's really hard for me to schedule streams as well if I don't have at least a 2-day buffer, because in situations like obviously like my work, sometimes I might be really tired and sometimes I'm too exhausted to stream, and I try not to schedule streams that happen like after my shifts anymore because I want to take that time to actually like rest and recover and recuperate. But in this case, I do have to schedule them because I literally have no other time to schedule them after my shifts. Yeah. So I'm only going to be streaming twice this week. I'm streaming tonight, and then I'm planning for a stream on Sunday night as well. That's the only other time that I am available. But on Sunday, I'm going to be playing some more like horror-ish games, maybe more Minecraft. I'm going to search up some more Minecraft horror maps, maybe ones that actually don't break this time. So I want to continue on our like little Minecraft map exploration. I'm going to Google some like better maps out there, and then we're going to have some fun. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Kaipa. Kaipa asks, they don't know what the CPN is, but the CPN stands for Certified Pediatric Nurse. Yes, I know, I'm flaunting it everywhere, and I felt so, I don't know, I was just like so so not embarrassed, but I was kind of like embarrassed because everybody was congratulating me at work when I worked the last 2 days. Everyone was like, congratulations on passing. How was it? Everybody was asking like what my experience was like because they want to do it as well. Me and another coworker both passed, so I saw her on the first night when I was walking in, and she high-fived me and she's like, I told you we were gonna do it. And I was like, yeah, I knew the questions on the website were really gonna help, and it was worth the investment to buy the question banks, the test bank, because let me tell you guys, those questions were pretty much repeated on the actual exam itself, just reworded. Not all of them, obviously, but a couple of the exam questions, like for the real exam, were in my practice questions too. So I was very happy about that, actually. Very, very, very happy about that. Yeah. I picture you like Anya Forte with her first Stella. Well, I will tell you guys, the NCLEX was a lot harder. This is just like a side quest. This is what I like to call a nurse's side quest. If the NCLEX is like in Hunter x Hunter, your actual Hunter exam, these little certifications are little side quests for us nurses. In order to be certified as a nurse, you got to take the NCLEX, right? But then on top of that, you can be certified on a bunch of different things. But in order to be certified for those things, you have to have experience in them. So you can't just walk up to like a testing center and be like, oh, I want to test for like, I want to take this test for critical care nursing, or I want to take this certification for hospice nursing or oncology adult nursing, because they require you to submit proof that you have been working in that department or in that field for about 2 years at least. So for pediatrics, it's the same thing. They require you to have at least 1.5 to 2 years of full-time pediatric experience, and they give you like, it's something like 1,800 hours or some ridiculous counting measure. Like, who the heck ever measures 1,800 hours? I don't even know what that means. And it is a class advancement class, so it is a little buff to it. Like, basically adds like a 10 XP to my 10 XP to my profile as a nurse adventurer at the moment. It also gives me a pay raise. So that's honestly one of the biggest reasons why people take this certification too, is because it does give you a raise. It's a promotion, basically. And the hospitals really, really want nurses to take certifications to the point that they give those incentives. They don't necessarily reimburse you for the exam, like you have to pay for the exam yourself, but the pay raise that they give you every year is actually very much worth it. I think they give you like a $1 to $2 hourly raise every year or something like that, and then that totals to like, I can't remember if it was like 4K extra or like, it was either it's like 4K or 6K. Some people were telling me, oh, you get an extra 4,000 a year, or you get an extra 6,000 a year, or one of those. I can't remember. Either way, I know if you get an extra 6,000 a year, that means they add $3 to your hourly base rate, because nurses are paid hourly. We're not salary based. I know a lot of places they use salaries, and overtime is not really a thing. So unfortunately, overtime is very important for us nurses because we do it all the time. Anyways, yeah, I'm rich now. I have more moonies, so it's worth it. It's worth it. But it also just gives you a buff in your resume when you go apply for jobs, like anywhere. If they see, oh, you're certified pediatric nurse, that's fantastic. Then they're more likely to hire you, I guess. Not that you really need it, because there is a shortage of those nurses anywhere. When I've like applying for jobs after you have a couple of years of experience under your belt as a nurse is easy. You apply for one job and the next day they will call you. That's how desperate they are. Like when I applied for this job last year in November, so I applied for this job last year in November, and I submitted my application. Yeah, I literally submitted my application like on a Monday. I think it was on Indeed or something. I submitted my resume. And then literally 2 days later on a Wednesday, the recruiter called me and was like, okay, when can we schedule it? when can we schedule a interview? And I was like, oh, I could do like one tomorrow if the manager's free. So she's like, okay, we can just do like a Zoom interview tomorrow. So while I was at my old job, still working on the job during my lunch break, I scheduled my job interview on my lunch break. So I just snuck into one of the empty exam rooms. I literally sat in the exam room and I told the doctors like, oh, I'm just gonna use this to like, take an important call. And they didn't know I was leaving, and I didn't want to tell them. I felt bad. So I took the interview in there, and my manager is like literally the chillest manager in the entire world. And I just told her, I have a bunch of experience, and she's like, oh my gosh, we like need experienced nurses like you. It'd be really great. She didn't even ask me any questions. She was just like, so why do you want to leave your old job? That was like the biggest thing she asked me. Is like, why do you want to leave your old job? And what's your previous experience? That's it. And then she was like, do you have any questions for me? And then I had all the questions for her, because I think like in this case, when you look for jobs, it's more important for you to ask the questions than for them to ask you questions. Because I wanted to know like what is the staffing like? Do you guys get busy? Like how many beds does your unit have? Like what is the work schedule like? What is the retention rate like? Do people leave a lot, like often? Do you guys have to keep hiring nurses all the time? How long has this job position been open for? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, those are very important questions that I didn't ask on my previous job that I should have asked. And she was like, okay, so like, when can you start? I'm like, okay, I could start like next month, I guess, because I have to give a 4-week notice. And she's like, okay, great. Just, we're just like, submit your 3 references, but we're gonna move forward. And I was like, okay. Thank you. She's like, yeah, just put in your 4-week notice today and then you'll be Gucci. And I'm like, okay, thank you. All right, I guess I got the job then. If you're interested in joining, obviously. And I was like, yeah, of course I'm interested in joining. So that's how I got to this job. And yeah, she's like, please, everybody, please try and take the exam by the end of the year. She's trying to get all of the nurses on our unit to get the certification by the end of this year, but I think only 5 of us or only 3 of us are really going to take it this year. And the rest are just still studying for it. They just haven't found a time to take the exam. Anyways, Milky says, does the CPN allow you to perform anything like your infusion certification? Nope. It is just a proof to show people that you have more knowledge than them. Or not more knowledge, that you are like consolidate your knowledge basically. Because I know a lot of people who I'm sure will pass the CPN in like one go. I know nurses who have been pediatric nurses for years and decades, but they still haven't taken the certification. It's a preference, not a necessity. It really is just for like a credential / pay sake, but it's also because hospitals require a certain percentage of nurses to be certified in something like that in order for them to have a designation, like an accreditation. So there's this thing called magnet, and I don't know if you guys have been to hospitals around the United States, but if a hospital has a magnet accreditation, it just means it's like the cream of the crop hospital. Like they had to tick off a bunch of criteria in order to become a magnet certified hospital. And in order to be magnet certified, you need to have a certain percentage of your nurses. I think it's like 70% of the actual nurses working at this hospital have to have a certification, whether it be like critical nurse, certified critical nurse, or certified oncology, certified geriatric, certified medical surgical, like any exam basically that they can take. And for us, it's like the certified pediatrics obviously has to be related to your unit and to your specialty. Some can take like certified operating room nurse. Some can take certified like post-anesthesia care unit nurse. I know for pediatrics, there's the regular like certified pediatric nurse. I can also go one step further and take the certified pediatric critical care nurse, which is like ICU nursing. And then there's also a certified pediatric oncology nurse. So there's like 3, and then there's also certified pediatric like end of care, like hospice nurse as well. So there are so many accreditations out there that you can take. You just need to be certified in one of them in order to get the pay raise. Yeah. So not like a magnet school. It's like Magnet is the name of the actual company. It's an actual organization. If you type in Magnet Hospital, it'll show you a list of magnet hospitals that are there. It just means that they have a certain higher, like a certain standard that's just a lot higher than for perhaps like your local state or whatever hospital that's just kind of dilapidated and not really that great. Usually magnet hospitals are like those really expensive, fancy, bougie ones. So my hospital is trying to become the fancy, expensive, bougie one. At the moment, we're not magnet yet, but the last hospital, the first hospital I worked for was a magnet hospital. Yeah, they have like higher standards of care. Yeah. Anyways, so I personally think that let me eat for a bit. Actually, the exam itself was kind of tricky. Not gonna lie, I thought it was not as easy as I thought it was gonna be. Which is expected. It shouldn't be easy, because not everybody can pass this exam, obviously. No, it's cold. I'm sad. So magnet hospitals are specific to nurses. So magnet status, let me just read it specifically. A magnet status is a worldwide designation hospitals can earn from the American Nurses Credentialing Center. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. So it's designated from the American Nurses Credentialing Center by practicing the highest standards of care, professional development, and work culture. Hospitals with magnet status signify excellence in nursing across several metrics, which makes these institutions desirable places for employment. So I guess it's kind of like a magnet school, but not really. I guess the word magnet does have that meaning that it attracts nurses to go work at magnet hospitals, because if you're a nurse, you kind of would want to work at a magnet hospital, because those, you can tell that they treat their nurses a little better, or they have more benefits, or they just they basically just know what they're doing. In order for them to be accredited, they have to know what the heck they are doing. So the reason why it's really important is because they go through like this review and this approval process. It basically it began in 1983. That's actually really interesting. So magnet hospitals they have lower staff turnover. That's one criteria that they have to qualify, is that they have to have a low percentage of staff turnover, better patient experience, greater ability to attract and retain really good nursing talent, which is why they want people in nurses in magnet hospitals to have the certification, because it just shows, oh, we have smarter nurses. We have nurses who can pass exams, who are smart, who know what they're doing, not are just there on a whim, you know? So I like that. It's actually really cool. Nice. So we're on the road to magnet accreditation, and it's very important because they come around and they actually do surveys and stuff, and they'll ask nurses questions. So when magnet comes around, it's kind of like when JCO comes around. Our entire hospital is on lockdown, is on freeze, we have to rehearse our answers. Our whole unit is clean, spick and span. Everything is organized. Nothing is out of place, because in the one time a year, that one week a year that these surveyors come to the hospital, we are on our best behavior. It's like when your headmaster comes over and, like, you know, or your boss comes over and takes a look at everything. You have to make sure everything is, you know, good. Exactly, like an inspection when it's like when the health inspector comes by and they have to give you a rating, right? It's like that. It's like the magnet people will come by and they will decide whether they will give you a magnet rating or not this year. Yeah. The magnet nurses kind of stick. I know. I guess we're kind of attractive. Magnet nurses are not. They're also very attractive. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. So yes, come to Athens Hospital. We are going to become a fancy premium hospital. Yay! Come join me. JY, I'm like looking at the past comments, but JY was saying, did I use my VTuber model to do my Zoom interview? What do you mean? I was myself. I don't need to use a model. They need to know what I look like. I was me. This is exactly what I look like. Yeah. I was just wearing my scrubs. I'm gonna take a hydration check. I'm drinking some, what is this? Hojicha? I made myself some iced hojicha at the moment. So yum. Anyway, so let me tell you a little bit about this exam. The exam that I took is 175 questions, multiple choice, and they give you 3 hours to complete it. So when I got to the testing center, I was a little bit early, and I was so worried that I didn't study enough. So I spent like 30 minutes before the exam, just like, I don't know, going through my notes and stuff like that, like last minute studying. But I was thinking to myself, like, what the hell else could I actually memorize at this point? So I was just like, I'm just gonna go in early. And they make you like pull up your sleeves and your pants. I was wearing like sweatpants that day, so everything was a little baggy because I wanted to be comfortable. They made me like pull up my pants. They made me like turn out my pockets, and no jewelry is allowed. They make you like touch your ears, behind your ears, and yeah, you have to show behind your ears and stuff like that. Make sure you don't have any like stuff. And they'd be like, one of those anime students going to university exams has her flashcards on the train. That's what I used to do when I was in nursing school, Milky. I took the train every single day to school, public transportation, and I'm just like standing there with my cue cards. And it was just me and my roommate. We both were nursing students at the time, so we would commute to class every day together. And she is from Japan. She actually lives in Japan now. So every day I would either practice my Japanese with her, talk to her about my new favorite anime or manga or manhwa, or study our nursing exam together. Those were the days. I'm about to sneeze or no? No sneeze. Oh. Okay. I was like, is that gonna be a sneeze or no? No sneeze. No cheating apparatus. I passed fair and square. Okay, so the other issue was the waiting area at this testing center was really freaking warm. So I had to take off my sweater. And I was contemplating whether to bring my sweater or not inside the actual testing room. And I thought to myself, oh, it's gonna be warm in there like it is warm out here. Big mistake. And I think I was a little nervous. I didn't get to tell the proctor that I wanted to go grab my sweater, but I did not bring my sweater inside, and it was freezing ass cold, okay? I was like, I only know in centigrade, but it was like 21 degrees Celsius in the rooms. I read a poster outside the room. The poster was like, the exam rooms are kept at a temperature of 21 to 23 degrees Celsius for the tester's comfort. And then I was like, oh, 21, 23? That's not bad. Like, room temperature is like 25, right? So what is like 2 degrees colder? Guys, that 2 degrees colder destroyed me. I could have brought gloves into that room. That's how cold I was. Anyways, it was so funny because at first I was like, okay, it's fine. But then all of a sudden it became so freaking cold. And so the exam is all on a computer. It's not like a written exam or anything like that. It's it's a computerized exam, and you like click, kind of like your nursing boards. You just click through the 175 questions. You can go back and flag whatever questions you want to do, and then you just submit at the end, right? My right hand was out, exposed to the cold for so long, and my left hand, I decided to just like stick under my leg to kind of keep it warm. And at one point, my right hand got too cold, so I kept switching my hands to take the test, and I kept telling myself, I can't waste time trying to warm up my hands. I have 175 freaking questions to answer. So I switched the mouse to my left hand, and I started being like ambidextrous, and I literally started answering all my questions with the other hand. And I was like, this is weird. I am not used to holding a mouse on my left hand, but I started holding the mouse in my left hand and putting my right hand under my leg just to warm it up a little bit. And I was thinking to myself, Jesus Christ. And the problem is I was not allowed to go back outside to get my sweater because the exam is too short. That the proctor specifically told me, she's like, you're not allowed during this 3 hours to go out and get access your locker. You are allowed to use the bathroom, but you're not allowed to go in and like reopen your locker. And I was like, oh, fudge me. I mean, understandable why they wouldn't let you open your locker, because you could literally have like testing shit in there and you could be cheating, right? So I was like, damn it. And then at some point my face got really cold, so my blood circulation started just like becoming really crap, and my face and my nose and everything started freezing over. So I started like putting my shirt, I have this like long sleeve baggy like long sleeve shirt, I started like putting it over my nose, and I was trying to like blow hot air into like my nose area just because it was starting to get cold. And then the proctor walked in and she was like, excuse me, you're not allowed to do that, please pull down your shirt. And I was like, oh, I'm not about to be kicked out of the exam, because it looks a bit suspicious if you're like testing and all of a sudden you're like sticking your head under your shirt. Like I got my test answers inside my shirt, just hidden there, you know? Oh, good night, Mika. Thank you so much for showing up, and thank you for congratulations. Have a great night. So I got in trouble for sticking my head in my shirt, and I was too freaking cold, okay? I just kept putting my hand to my mouth and going like, like blowing into my hand. I don't know how I survived those 3 hours. I think half of those 3 hours was spent trying to generate enough body heat for me not to die of hypothermia in there. I had all of the answers written on my bra. Exactly. They don't check your bras in these exam tests. So you're really not allowed to stick your head under your shirt, just because I guess you could tattoo the answers on your like boobs or something. I don't know. My sister told me that she used to cheat by in school, and she used to cheat by writing the answers or writing tips on her thigh, like on the inside of her thigh. Because in our school we wore skirts, and you could literally, if you just sat in your chair, you could just roll up your skirt and look at your thigh, like inner thigh, right? So that's how my friends and my sister and a lot of my other friends used to cheat on their exams. Is they would literally tattoo, or like they would write all of the answers on their thigh. Exactly, and if any teacher be looking at the student's thigh, that is reasons for dismissal too, right? You know what it reminds me of, and this is like a very lewd tangent. It reminds me of that one Kiss Exist episode. Please excuse me if you guys are say so. But there was this one Kiss Exist episode where she was trying to get one of the twins, I think it was Rico, she was trying to get her brother to remember things on the exam, and she dressed up like as this really sexy teacher, and they were like in the classroom or in his room, I can't remember, but all I remember is that she started writing these answers to the questions or whatever that he needed to memorize in like very lewd places, like very lewd places, like extremely lewd. Like if you think inner thigh, like no, inner thigh is not lewd. No, she was writing it like straight up, like in her crotch area. And I was like, Girl, no, you're gonna get an infection. So anyways, that way he could remember things. I thought, what? This is so big brain. Because first of all, he's never gonna forget those answers ever. And he's probably gonna pass that exam. Well, actually, I think in the end he didn't pass that exam because I think he was just too distracted by like thinking of like all of like the lewd things that were happening. But I was thinking to myself, that is definitely one way to get someone to memorize things, is to like, I don't know, just get their heart racing in a certain situation. Exactly, that's what I said. It was like he kept failing because he kept thinking about the lewdness. But I was like, oh my god, is that what like people do? Is just like write on their lewd parts and then they like memorize it? I don't know. Anyways, hi Jay. No, we're talking about Kazakhstan. No, because I was talking about how the proctor thought I was cheating on the exam because I was freezing my face off and I was trying to warm my face up by sticking my head in my shirt. Either way, I ended up using all 3 hours of the exam. By the time I clicked submit for my questions, I only had like 20 seconds left on the timer. And I was so nervous. The questions were a little bit tricky. Like I think I flagged about like 10 or so questions that I really did not know the answer to. Like I knew the answer to them, but the answers were so freaking stupid. They were all the same. For example, there was this one question I was like, it was like, so a baby who was born with a cleft lip recently had a cleft lip repair. What are they most at risk for? And then the 4 answers that they give you are risk for impaired bonding, risk for constipation, risk for vomiting, risk for diarrhea. It was either risk for diarrhea, risk for abdominal distension, risk for impaired bonding, and the other one was like risk for I don't know, like something really that like not nonsensical. And I was thinking, cleft lip, like, is it bonding because they can't really like latch onto their mom's boob? Definitely not diarrhea or constipation because they should be able to eat fine. But what? I don't know. So I was just like, what is this? And they had this one question that was like, there's a blah, blah, blah. Like these parents come to you and they express that they are concerned about their adolescent's mental health. Which of these behaviors best indicates that this kid is at risk, or best indicates that this adolescent is in need for further like mental health, I don't know, like mental health assessment or something, like further mental health priorities or something. And then the answers were the adolescent stays in his, as soon as the adolescent comes home, he stays in his room and doesn't leave. The other one was the adolescent is being their grades are like they are not doing so well in school and their grades are bad. The other one was what was the other one? It was like the adolescent like expresses, just says they don't have any interest in participating in like extracurricular activities. Or there was like another one, it was like really dumb. I just remember I was like, huh? I was like, the teenager doesn't leave his room when he gets home. The teenager is failing at school. The teenager doesn't like to participate in sports after school. And the other one was like, the teenager likes to listen to loud music or whatever. I'm just like, what? All of them. I'm like, can I select all of them? But they're like, which one most indicates the need for further mental health intervention? And I'm like, huh? Huh? What? Oh Oh, I think the other one was like the teenager watches like violent TV shows or something like that. It was like really stupid. What would you answer? And I put the teenager doesn't leave their room because I'm like, are they depressed because they don't want to leave their room? But teenagers don't want to leave their room sometimes. And I'm like, that's normal. Isn't that like normal? Aren't these all normal for teenagers? Like teenagers watching like violent movies, like sure. Like they watch horror movies all the time. That's fine. Teenagers like to stay in their room for the rest of their night. Sometimes they never leave. That's fine. They don't have to be social. The teenagers failing grades, sure. Like I sure as well was also struggling in school. Doesn't mean that they need to have mental health intervention. Like maybe they're just tired or whatever. I don't know. Sometimes failing grades is a sign. And the thing is, I thought that, but when I was doing the practice questions, they had something similar to that, and it was not failing grades. It was not failing grades. Cause I don't know. Cause maybe they're just stupid. Like what if they're just dumb? What if this adolescent is just straight up really stupid? Okay? Doesn't mean that they need to go to a mental health counselor or something. Like what? I'm sorry, I hate that. Those questions just like threw me off so bad. So yeah. Right, so I put that they didn't want to leave their room, and they don't tell you which questions that you got right or what the answers are for obvious reasons. I kept thinking to myself like, what the hell was the answer to that? Anyways, they tell you whether you pass or fail the exam at the very end. After you submit all of your questions, they give you a preliminary like pass-fail. And oh my god, my heart was beating so hard. I could feel it bounding out of my chest. It was like very strong palpitations I was feeling as I was clicking through the very last survey, because they make you do a survey after the exam. And they're like, oh, how well would you recommend this exam? Blah, blah, blah. It's really dumb. And at the very end, they're like, after you click next, you will be getting your results for the exam. And I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Because if I failed, I would cry. And then I clicked in, they're like, congratulations, you passed the exam. And I'm like, yay! Did I use your answers? They didn't even ask those questions, Jaywalk. I don't even remember any of the questions that I knew that I got correct, because the only questions that I remember are the ones that I was struggling on, the ones that I flagged, and the ones that I spent more than a couple of minutes on just dwelling on the answers and trying to think of different arguments in my head as to what the true answer could be. In the end, I was just like, F it all, you know, if these 10 questions are the only wrong questions I get in the entire exam, then whatever, I still pass anyway, right? So I don't know, I used every single second of the exam to go through every single one of those flagged questions because they were so freaking tricky. And then they had this one question that was like, they asked a lot of prioritization questions, like, you walk into the unit and it's change of shift and you get your 4 patients. Which of these 4 patients would you see first or intervene with first? And then they give you 4 different type of patient profiles with different ages, different genders, different vital signs, and different symptoms. And then you have to choose the one that has more severe symptoms that you need to go and like assess first or intervene with first. Those ones I actually really like because they're a little more obvious. So I liked those questions. They asked me a lot of questions about gastrointestinal system. So they asked the question about intussusception, and I was so happy. But the question was actually really hard. I was like, they asked a question about intussusception. I remember that. They asked the question about pyloric stenosis. So that I remember they asked a couple about that. They asked some milestone questions, but they were actually easy milestone questions. They weren't like tricky ones at all. They were asking stuff like, which of these signs which would indicate that this kid is like delayed, or this kid may have like autism or something like that. And then they would give you 4 different milestones that a 3-month-old is exhibiting. So those are also a little bit tricky. What else did they ask me in the exam? They asked me a lot about psychosocial stuff, like what would you do? What is the best way to like to assess a child, or what is the best way to like which they asked a lot of like ethical questions too. They would ask questions like, okay, so this parent is they asked me a Jehovah Witness question. They're like, so this child is coming in for severe like hemorrhaging, and the parents are Jehovah Witnesses, and they're refusing blood transfusion. What would you do next in this situation? And then they would give you 4 things, which was 1, notify the provider and inform them about the parent's decision. 2, try to convince the parents that this child really needs a blood transfusion. 3, just give the blood transfusion anyway. And then 4 is like organize or like prioritize an interdisciplinary ethics meeting. Or another answer was like call the ethics committee or something like that. And then the other one was like call an interdisciplinary meeting. And I was like, okay, I guess interdisciplinary meeting? I don't know. Like what? I don't know what it is, the situation. Like what? Anyways, yeah. Doesn't matter, past. I don't have to think about those questions anymore. And guess what? You only have to take the exam once, and then in order for you to renew it, you have to renew it every year. You just have to do a certain amount of continuing education hours. So you just have to go to like conferences or do some like online modules, and those kind of things are what help renew your pediatric nurse exam license, pediatric nurse certification license. So I don't have to retake that stupid exam again. I'm like, oh, thank God. Yeah. I know, and I have to pay the recert fee as well, but it's okay. It's not that expensive. There are 2 boards for the pediatric nurse exam. The PNCB, the Pediatric Nurse Certification Board, which is what most people take. And then there's the ANC, which is the ANCB or something like this, like American Nurses Credentialing, ANCC. Yeah, that's one. It's the American Nurses Credentialing Certification or something like that. And the ANCC is a little not as popular, just because I think people were saying that the questions were a little more difficult and not as well-rounded. And the ANCC, they make you pay for a 3-year renewal. So you only have to renew it every 3 years. Whereas the PNCB, you renew it every year. And some people would prefer to do the every 3 years one, because they're like, oh, it's like a one and done payment. I don't have to worry about it for 3 years. But some people were like, it's better to do it every year, because what if you forget? Because in 3 years, you could literally be doing anything, and you are going to forget all that knowledge if you don't keep it up, if you don't do continuing education, if you don't go to conferences and stuff like that. So I think that the yearly rationale is like, the yearly recertification is a good incentive for you to like go out there and actually use your continuing education credits to get continuing education credits. That the hospital reimburses you too, by the way. Now that I am a certified pediatric nurse, guys. Hi, Leg! Welcome! I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. You're so sweet. I'm so excited because now that I'm literally a certified pediatric nurse, it not only gives me that extra pay, like that extra pay raise, but it gives me, they increase the amount that they subsidize for conference hours and conference, basically you can go to these conferences all around the world. It doesn't matter where you are, and they give you $900 to spend every year that you don't have to pay for on conferences. I don't know if they reimburse like travel and stuff like that. I know some hospitals do reimburse travel and food and stuff like that to conferences. They give you like, as long as it's within like $900. So you could literally travel to like any country, do like an accredited like conference related to like pediatrics, and then they will pay the whole thing for you. So it's pretty cool actually. That, and then we also have like increase amount of hours that they will cover. So conference hours will count as a shift as well. So not only do you get paid for them, like not only do you get paid to go to these conferences, and you can use like, you don't have to use your holiday bank or you don't have to use your PTO bank to go to these conferences. you have like conference hours that you could use every year. And then you also get the $900 stipend that you could use to go to other places. Yeah. So it is a nice incentive, because there are a lot of like conferences that I have wanted to go visit, because they're like a lot of new updated research on pediatrics and medications and like different types of treatments and things, and even like stuff about like how to talk to kids, or how to get kids through painful procedures, or how to talk to kids about end of life, and how to talk to parents about their kids dying and stuff like that. Like those kind of conferences are really important. Like, you know, you want to learn how to be like a better speaker and a more informed therapeutic communicator. Anyways, oh my god, in Japan, I was looking for international conferences. They have one in Japan too. International conferences count. They 100% count. Yeah, it's really cool. Oh my god, Zen, you're so sweet. I mean, I've always wanted to work with kids, so I'm very proud of myself, because this is like a big win for me, because ever since I was even in like middle school, ever since I was really young, I knew that I really wanted to work with kids. After I lost the illusion that or I lost the dream that I could become like a performer, I was a little bit disillusioned when I was in middle school, because when I was a kid, I really wanted to be like a singer, a pianist, an actor. I wanted to be on Broadway. In middle school, I wanted to be so many things. I wanted to be a director. I wanted to be an animator. I wanted to like be a voice actor. I wanted to do all of that, right? But then reality hits and you're like, can I really do these things? And obviously like my parents were like 100% no. So I was like, okay, what can I be that will actually like make my parents proud? So I knew that I wanted to work with children ever since I was really young, because I've been I work really well with kids, and I've done a lot of like volunteering opportunities where I work in summer camps or babysat, and people have always like commented and praised me for like being really good with their kids, or their kids will always be like, oh, when is Athi coming back? Or like, when is Athi Nichan coming back? Because I really liked her. So that was like a big boost in my confidence. I thought to myself, hey, maybe I should actually do this as a career. So I was thinking either pediatrician, a music therapist. I didn't think about being a nurse at that time. I was like pediatrician or like pediatric surgeon, like a music teacher. I really wanted to be like a preschool teacher or like a music therapist. So I applied for like music programs. I was going to do pre-med track, and that's basically what I did. I like did pre-med with a double major in music and chemistry. And I was like, wait a minute, nah, I don't want to do this anymore. Second year of college, I was like, I'm gonna change my major, flippity-doo. Actually, no, freshman year of college, I was about to declare my major, and I did. I declared pre-med with a double major chem and music track. And then a whole week later, and this is like the story of how I became a nurse, and a lot of you guys know, I was walking with my friend, and we were in the same like liberal arts program, because when I got accepted to college, I got accepted to like a liberal arts program that you integrate. Basically, it's not a degree. It's basically you do all of your like prerequisites in another country. And after you're done in your first year, your freshman year of college, you go back to the main campus and you integrate back into like an actual degree. Like it's an actual major. So you don't have to declare your major in the first year, basically. So it's actually really good to get into one of these programs, because if you don't really know what you want to do, you can explore it while you're there, and then you declare your major by the end of your freshman year. And then you go to the advisor, and they tell you which kind of college courses you need to take in order for you to fully integrate into that major or get that degree. So at the end of my first year, I was like, oh, what do I want to do? And then I was walking down the street with my friend, and I was like, where are you going to matriculate into once we get back to the main campus? And she was like, I'm going to go to the nursing school and double major in global public health. And I was like, nursing school? There's such things as nursing schools? I didn't even know that nursing schools existed, first and foremost. I didn't even know you could get a Bachelor of Science in nursing. I thought my entire life, I was raised to think that nurses were LPNs. Like, I thought that nurses were something that you didn't have to go to school for, that you just had to maybe do like a quick crash course in maybe a few months. You only had to maybe do like a course and take like a quick exam, and then you just learn the rest while you're at the hospital. Like I thought it was a vocational degree, essentially. I thought that nurses were vocational degrees, like being a mechanic or being like, I don't know, something like that, right? Like a chef. But obviously you go to culinary school to be a chef, right? So I learned that you can get a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and then I was like, wait a minute, I should do this. This is actually really interesting. Let me look into it a little more. So I did some research and I realized, oh my God, like why didn't I think about being a peds nurse this entire time? Because I realized, wait a minute, if I become a nurse, I could actually be at the bedside with the kids like more often. I spend, 12 hours a shift, like taking care of these kids. You are like their first line of defense. You are their advocate to doctors. I was watching all these videos like, why you should become a nurse, why you should become a nurse instead of doctor. And, it convinced me in that moment. I was like, okay, screw this. I don't want to go to med school. I was very like reluctant to go to med school. So I didn't want to waste my life studying. Like, no offense to the doctors, but I didn't want to be in school as soon as I graduated school, I wanted to work. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to work. And earn money, because I was broke AF in college. I was like that poor college student vibes. And I was thinking to myself, I want to earn money like now. I want to earn money ASAP. So, obviously I do becoming a nurse is a good thing, because like it's easy to find a job and they actually don't pay that bad. So yeah, I switched my majors, and it was a whole thing with my parents, because my parents were like, no. Thank you so much, Zen, for the Zuba Duba. You're so sweet. Thank you. Back in the army, our chief medic and CEO went through the schooling to become a nurse. On top of 12 years of experience, I swear that men had superpowers. Yeah, nurses are superheroes. They're crazy. We are superheroes. Right? Some of the nurses are some nurses I know are some of the most amazing people I've ever met in my entire life. And I will never, ever, ever forget them. And I am so inspired by them. I learn from them every single day. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so my parents are like, no, nursing school, you'll be a doctor. But I convinced them. I was like, trust me, I will become a nurse. And then I think the only compromise was that if I did become a nurse, that I would consider going back to med school. That was like the compromise. It's like, okay, if you become a nurse, we'll let you become a nurse, let you work for a few years, save up money, and then go back to med school. And then we'll let you do it, okay? So I was like, okay, whatever. Anyways. That never happened. Anyways, thank you so much, J-Walk, for being a clinic owl. Welcome to the clinic. Get to work. Anyways, that never happened, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life, because if I didn't become a nurse, I would literally be so broke right now. If I didn't become a nurse, I would low-key be homeless. I'm not kidding, guys. I want to tell you like a very personal story at the moment, but if I didn't become Athy the Owl Nurse, I would be homeless. I'm telling you right now. Or I would have to literally take out like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of loans. Loans. I'd be loaning. I would not be in this debt-free situation that I am right now. But yeah, so nobody expected COVID to hit, first of all, because this was way before COVID hit. And when I graduated, that was around when COVID really hit. So how was I supposed to know that was gonna happen, right? Straight out of college. But because of that, like a lot of people lost their jobs, and it was really rough. And that impacted me and my family a lot, because my parents lost their job. Well, specifically my father was not able to procure a source of income throughout COVID, and he was really struggling. On top of that was like really in a lot of debt to the point that he had to file bankruptcy, right? So I was the sole breadwinner of my family straight out of college for like years. Even up until now, I'm still like paying for a lot of my family's things. But during that time, we had nothing. We literally had nothing. Like, we didn't have a place to live. We didn't even have a car. My father was like bankrupt during COVID, and he couldn't find a job. So guess who? Guess what? I was struggling too. So when I finally found a job, I was like, thank God, because now we don't have to worry on like living off our savings anymore. So then that's why I've been like, I don't really have that much savings, because like for the first 2 or 3 years of me being a nurse, or basically for like the first 2 years of me working as a nurse, like 100% of my paycheck went back to paying, well, I bought a car for our family. I bought a car, I paid for rent, I basically paid for my brother's like school supplies. I basically like supported my brother through school. I paid for rent, I paid for utilities, I paid for everybody's phone bills, for like internet, basically all of that. I paid, the only thing that I think my father really paid for was like groceries. Like he would pay for our like groceries, daily groceries and stuff like that. But everything else I just like paid for, and I was like, damn, this is not what I expected when I graduated. Like, I thought I would be living my life, going and traveling the world, going to different countries every few months with my friends, eating out and like buying fun things with my salary, and then like no. So I was like, okay, let's just be a VTuber to help like add a little extra source of income as well, so that I could actually afford nice things. And then yeah, so that's also how I became one, because I thought it would be nice to not only show off my talents, but also, you know, in a way be able to earn some sort of income from it, so that I can invest more into my passions and afford nice things. And now I'm happy because I can afford nice things. Right? Everybody has to go through a kind of like a really bad patch. Like, they have to go through some trials and tribulations, and I'm so glad I'm past those trials and tribulations. I am out of there. Like, thank God I don't have to, thank God, like at least some of my paycheck I can put into savings. Now I can finally like try and save up for a house. So this is my story, guys. Like, it's okay if stuff like that happens to you. Just remember to like prioritize yourself and your health. And obviously, like, my family is very grateful for what I did and how I helped them through COVID. To the point that I know they feel a little guilty, and I feel bad because my little brother feels very, very guilty that I had to pay for a lot of the things that he wanted. Like, I bought him a new iPad for school, a new Apple Pen, and all that sort of stuff. But I'm like, it's okay. Like, family comes first, right? Like, it's my obligation to do so. Like, I love my family, obviously. So obviously I have to support you guys. If without you guys, I wouldn't be here. So you didn't get time. No. Pineapple pen. Thank you. I'm so grateful that I became a nurse, because like I said, if I didn't, could you imagine if COVID had hit and I didn't become a nurse? Like, I just graduated with some random shot like degree, like chemistry, music, double major with a pre-med track, and then I'm already struggling to even get into med school and afford to pay med school, and then my whole family just like did not have any money. Like, where would we be getting this money from? I would literally just be working in like McDonald's or something every day just to afford to, or something like that, just to afford to go to school or afford to live. That would have been my situation. So I think I was so lucky. I was so lucky that I chose that major. I keep thinking back, I'm like, damn, if I did not get a job as a nurse, like, first of all, I wouldn't have been able to earn that much money. And secondly, I would have really had a hard time finding a job. Like, really, really had a hard time finding a job. The job market is hard, guys. It's not easy. And I know, because I have friends and family who work in like other types of job fields. Like my sister works as a teacher and she's not happy at the moment at all. No, she's struggling. Making the kids' parents pay for iPad at school it seems to me, yeah. Like a lot of schools require iPads and things. Girl boss, thank you. I don't know. I'm very I wouldn't say I'm frugal, but I'm more frugal than most people. I do like to splurge every once in a while, but I don't ever purchase luxury goods. Like never. I'm not like a luxury designer girl. I don't own any like Louis Vuitton or Gucci. I don't own any of that sort of stuff ever. Not that, because I don't really see the value in them. My value, the things that I like to splurge on are like tech goods. I'll buy new streaming equipment or new musical instruments or new microphones or new, I don't know, I'll buy like a DAW or I'll buy like a sound bank or something like that, or plugins for Logic, or like video games. Those are what are worth for me. Those are most of my splurge expenses, yeah. Hi Zephyr, welcome. I know, I'm so glad I'm past those rough patches, and like after those 2 years as well, I paid off all of my loans, so then I've been debt free for like a year, at least over a year now. So I'm really happy that I have like a nice disposable income that I can use to go and experience fun things in life. Like I'm just so lucky. I'm so grateful for so many things. Your sister's in nursing? Oh my god, congratulations! I'm so happy. We need more nurses. Every time I hear that someone's in nursing school or they're interested in becoming a nurse, it makes me so happy on the inside, because it just shows that, like, you know, there are people out there who want to help others, and finally we have like the support that we need. And I keep encouraging them, like, don't give up becoming a nurse. Like, you became a nurse for a reason, and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Like, make sure you become a nurse not for the money, not for the recognition, but for the sole reason that you want to help others and you want to make the world a better place, right? You want hospitals to be safer, you want people to survive, or whatever your reason may be. So if you meet someone who is a nurse or wants to be a nurse, they're most likely, like, there is a reason why they became that in the first place. And usually their reasons are why they are like such an amazing person nowadays. Like, they're some of the sweetest people I've ever met. Some of them are like a little bit crazy. Not gonna lie, some of them are have like behavioral issues, but at the end of the day, you know, they are nice people. They do want to help others. They want to save lives, right? There are like little glimpses and little moments where you find them, you know, giving a little toy to a kid, or reading storybooks to your patient, or, you know, hanging out and chatting with the patient's family. Those are like the rare moments you'll ever catch those people. Yeah. But at the same time, you shouldn't let becoming a nurse like wear you down and change your personality, because I've met some people who have been nurses for years and years and years and years and have lost their reason why they love their job, and maybe because the job itself has affected them so much mentally, emotionally, physically, everything, to the point that they just become like a super nasty person. And that's why, like, nursing is a super toxic job as well. So I'm gonna warn those who become nurses too. Like, I'm letting you all know right now that like, nurses 100% eat their young, and you only hear about these things from other people and you think to yourself, nah, that's not gonna be like that. Like, the people here seem so nice. Wait till you actually get to work there, and wait until you actually get assigned to orient under one of the senior nurses who are like one of the nastiest people in the entire world. Yeah, nurses eat their young. There are such toxic environments out there. And I was like listening to the Nurse John podcast recently. I've been listening to his podcast episodes, and there was one where he was talking about like when he first started out as a nurse, that all of the nurses there would like try to get him in trouble for like the smallest things. And even though he didn't know what he did, he would always get called into the manager's office because other nurses would file complaints against him. And that's the situation in your workplace. You will have coworkers rat you out for the smallest things. And that has happened. In my last place, we had this one nurse who would write up, like she would complain about every single nurse on our unit, to the point that our assistant manager came to me one night. She was like, Athy, can I ask you a big favor? Can you ask your coworker to please stop writing up reports for your coworkers? And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, she's like written so many complaints about you guys. Can you just tell her to stop? It makes you guys look really bad. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I don't even know what she's been writing about us, but I think the managers don't really care about those things. So, hi, Days Fly. Do I remember you? Of course I do. I remember all of y'alls. You're my lovely, lovely pillows. I'll never forget you guys. Yeah. I'm happy with my job. I'm happy. But you know, even if I did leave and I did something a little bit different, but still similar, I'd still be happy. Like if I became a teacher, I'd still be happy. If I became a music therapist, I'd still be happy. If I became a child life therapist, I'd be happy. Like as long as I still get to work within my desired population, which is pediatrics, I don't really care where I go. It just so happened that nursing was one of them, and it pays the most out of a lot of them. So that was like another reason. Obviously, like I can't deny the fact that I became a nurse because I wanted to have that income as well. It's an important part. Like having a good income is very important in your life. Financial stability is very important, right? So I did consider that too. I was like, maybe I should go into nursing school instead of education school, or like I should do a nursing degree instead of an education degree because nurses get paid more out of school. That was like one thing that weighed me. Like I really wanted to become a teacher too, right? But then when I searched up what the teacher's salary, I was like, nah. And then I Googled a nurse's salary and I was like, okay, that's a little better. So I followed the route that was like going to have the best financial outcome, but also still check off all the boxes that I wanted to do to fulfill my passions, right? Which is helping kids. So I don't know. I wish that this model would fit for a lot of people. I wish that people were able to find like good paying jobs for their passions. For example, if you're like really into art, I wish that there were like certain jobs that you could get straight out of art school that paid enough for you to actually survive. Or I wish that musicians had a specific type of job that they had, you know, that paid well out of school that could help them survive before they like move on to something that they actually would prefer to do more like specialized, right? But it's not that case for a lot of people, and you have to make compromises. So, hi, Pinky Sheen, welcome. How's my exam? I passed it, Days Fly. That's the whole reason I'm doing this stream. I passed my exam. I am done with this exam. Woohoo! We are celebrating. God, Didi! Oh my god, let me add you. Oh my god, let me add you to the mod. Didi, I love you, Didi. How are you, my love? I love you. Didi, I miss you. How are you? Everybody gonna get a hoot hoot. We pass. Your girlfriend, Loafia says their girlfriend right now is in residency. Nice. Is it alright because the major's not a doctor or nurse, but she's very busy with a lot of seniority. Amazing. Being a resident is hard. Let me tell you, being a resident is hard. You're surviving. You're so happy for me. Thank you, Didi-chan. Arigato. I miss you. I'm gonna come visit you soon. Don't tell anybody. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna give you big hugs. Because I miss you so much. Anyways, did studying help? Oh my god, of course, Nostromos. I had to study. If I didn't study, I don't think I would have passed that exam. It was hard. I was telling people in the beginning of the stream that exam was not as easy as I thought. I had to use all 3 hours of the exam to finish to answer all the questions, because I kept going back to the ones I was not sure of. There were a lot that I was not really 100% sure of because they were tricky. But you know why I felt confident in the end is because the practice questions that I did were very, very similar on the exam. Very, very similar. Just reworded a little different. But the answers and the general, like, I think that the general rationale is the same. So, I mean, there's only so many questions they can use, right? 175 questions is a lot. There's only so many questions they can ask about pediatrics. Athy, does a medical practitioner need to take a test every year? Not real. No, they don't. They don't. For nurses, our license expires every 2 years, 2 or 3 years. I can't remember. I think it's every 2 years. So our nursing license expires every 2 years, but honestly, we don't have to take an exam for it. We just pay money to the licensing board and be like, here, take my money. Give me a piece of paper. Thank you. I think it's what, like $200 or something like that. It's like, here's $200. Just give me another piece of paper and just add another like 2 years. Like, yeah. So that, and also they require you to do like continuing education hours as well. Just like very basic ones for general, to become like a general nurse, like registered nurse. I think you just have to take one about like hand hygiene and infection control. And as long as you do those modules every 2 years, they just want to make sure that you remember how to wash your hands properly and that you know how to not spread infection in the hospital. So that you don't have to take an exam for. And then for this exam that I took, the pediatric nurse certification, I have to renew it every year. So you have to pay them some money. I think it's like $100 or so every year in order to keep that accreditation. And then I also have to submit proof of contact hours, or continuing education hours is what they call them. So you can get those CE or CH hours, contact hours, that's redundant. You can get those like contact hours or continuing education hours either by attending like conferences or doing like modules, like online. You could do like these online learning modules that will give you CE hours. Like my exam review counted as CE hours because it was a pediatric exam specific one. They give you continuing education hours for that. My whole lactation thing that I had to do, remember I was talking to you guys about how I had to do this whole freaking like 36-hour self-taught, like self-learning module about breastfeeding and lactation that took me like 2 weeks to finish. That gave me 16 continuing education hours. Only 16? Only 16? Are you kidding me? That thing took me like 150 million hours. Anyways, you don't have to retake the exam. Once you take it again, once you take it the first time, you don't have to take it again. Thank God. Thank God. Yeah. I feel like all my friends who are doing medical majors always have tests, especially the ones. Well, so I'm a nurse, so I'm not a medical doctor. It's a completely different field, low FPS. Completely different field, let me just tell you, okay? The ways to become a doctor is so different to becoming a nurse. When you're a resident, yes, you are getting tested like every month, every so often. And how it works is that once you graduate from medical school and you take your MCATs and all that, once you pass that, you get accepted into a residency program, but it doesn't mean that you're board certified yet. So once you become a resident, during that time of residency, that is when you can decide to take your board. So for example, if you're a pediatric resident, I think towards like the 3rd or 4th year or something like that, that's when they take their pediatric doctor like board certification so that they can be certified as an actual pediatrician. Everybody starts out as like a general doctor, but in order to be specialized or like certified in your actual like department, they do it during residency. And they do a lot of practice exams throughout that time, and residencies as well do tests. They do competency tests. Of course, they can't just be like hiring any other resident who might not be studying for anything, and you know, they might not even be retaining any information. The only way that they're able to test whether you are retaining any information you learn is actually doing like examinations. So every term or something like that every so often. I know the residents have told me every year they do one big exam. So depending on how long your residency is, pediatric residencies are 3 years. Most of them are 4 or 5 years. Every year they'll do like a competency exam just to see like how well you know the knowledge. And then if you fail them, you obviously have to remediate real hard. Like they will question you. And I know sometimes you can get kicked out of residency programs if you don't reach a certain grade in these competency exams for residency. So I know like I've had some residents who were just like, I guess they weren't doing good, and they weren't able to finish their residency because their grades were not good enough at the end of the year. So yeah. Anyways, your family's all in the medical field. It seems to me that they have to do continuing education. Oh, 100%. All the time. I'm like constantly doing continuing education all the time. And my stupid hospital annual mandatory, we have to do all these like mandatory modules every year, because if you work in a hospital, there's just like buttloads of things that you have to do. Even if you're not a nurse, everybody has to do them. It's about like, and if you are a nurse, you have 10 times more things to do, but there's one about like wound care. There's one about like suicide prevention. Like there's this whole module that teaches you like what are ligature risks and what are like the ways that patients can try and harm themselves inside the room, and what things you have to take out of the room so that they don't like hang themselves in the room and stuff like that. Because there have been situations, like I've heard from other nurses where like a patient was found the other day, like they strangled themselves on the doorknob or something like that. It was kind of crazy. And then there's one annual module that we have to do on like active shooter situation. That one is always fun. The fire safety. We have to do one about like therapeutic communication and stuff like that. It's like so long and so boring. I hate them. And you can only do them when you're at work too, so I can't even do them while I'm at home. Yeah, it seems like a lot of things to do, but it's good to see that there is at least an attempt to keep staff up to date. Oh, they have to. That's just like, it's important because then people will forget how to protect themselves and patients during active shooter situations. And then we have stuff about like disaster management, like what happens if there's a power outage or if there's like a flood or stuff like that. Or if there's a fire, like what do you do? Stuff like that. But I'm glad because I think that I studied really well for the exam, and a lot of the knowledge that I have has retained, and I think I'm gonna remember a lot of it for a really, really, really long time. Right now, we have a lot of new nurses on our unit that we are orienting. So the last 2 nights, I've actually been orienting this new nurse to the floor. She's already like pretty much done with her orientation. And she's never worked in pediatrics before, but she did work in adults for like a couple of years. I think she worked in adults for like a year. And then she came to pediatrics because she really wanted to do peds. And I was in the ICU with her for the last 2 nights. We only had 1 patient in the ICU right now. Such a cute baby. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with him. He has, so sad. He has pertussis. It's like very, very, very typical case of the pertussis. It's, some of you guys may know it as whooping cough. It is a nasty, nasty cough. Like, I can't tell if, is pertussis a virus? I think it's a virus. So pertussis is a bacterial disease, actually. It's not a virus, but it's like this little baby, and a lot of babies can get pertussis because you usually get vaccinated for pertussis. It's like there are 3 vaccinations that you take them. I think it's at 2 months, 4 months, and 6 months or something like that. And this baby's only 3 months, so he only got 1 vaccination for the pertussis disease, and his whole family is coughing really badly, so he got it. And pertussis, like whooping cough, is like when you have these like really bad spells of coughing that almost looks like you're choking. And it's like, and then you just keep coughing and coughing and coughing. And sometimes the babies will turn blue because they're like literally not breathing because they're coughing so hard. And then sometimes they'll vomit. and they'll turn like, it's just like all these crazy things. So the reason why he's in ICU is because every time he coughs or has a little coughing spell, he like turns blue and his oxygen drops. So we have to like make sure he's still okay. But he's fine. He's literally fine. I think it's literally just pertussis. Like he just needs to get over this pertussis cough. Everything else is fine with his baby. But he's so cute. And every time I went into the room one night and I was literally like, hi. And even through like my mask, he can't see me smile or anything like that. He just hears my voice and I'll go like, hi, cutie pie. And then he'll put on this like massive smile on his face. And he's such a charmer. Like I look at him and I walk in, I'm like, hi, how are you? And then he smiles so big. And he starts laughing and kicking his legs. And I'm like, oh, this is why we have baby fever all the time. Because these are the babies that give you baby fever. But yeah, like you go in there and you like play with him. And he's such a good baby. He doesn't even cry like that much unless he's hungry. It's just like perfect baby. Perfect baby. I love baby smiles. I love baby laughs. Those are the things that make me so happy when I see like babies smiling or babies laughing. It just, I don't know, it just really brightens up your whole day. Anyways, that was, so I love orienting like new nurses to pediatrics because whether they are completely new grad or they are someone who has experience but they've never touched a baby in their life, it's always interesting to see like how people approach babies when they take care of them. So the one that I've been orienting, like I can tell that she's still a little awkward around babies and around like the little ones, just like by the way they handle the child, like when they change the diapers, when they take the vitals, when they hold the baby. There are certain like techniques that you learn throughout the years of like what is the best way to pick up babies, what is the best way to soothe babies, what are the best ways to take vitals, how do you put a thermometer properly under their arm to get the best temperature, you know, that sort of stuff. And it's just so interesting that I notice like all these little things that I'm like, oh, she could have done that better, or like it's better if she would have done it that way. And then I would tell her, I was like, I think it's better if you actually put the baby down like this, or if you hold the thermometer like this, because you're not gonna get an accurate temp reading or something like that. So those are the little things that you teach like new nurses so that they can become better at their job. And I was like, at what point did I really realize that I've become like competent at this? Like at what point did I realize that, oh, like I actually am the person giving the help instead of getting the help, you know? It's so interesting. And it's just stuff that I'm never gonna forget. So I am gonna have this lifelong knowledge for the rest of my life. So if y'all ever want me to take care of your kids, or if you ever end up having kids in the future, just let me know, because a lot of people ask me for like advice. My neighbors, they all have babies and kids, and I think I told you guys about the story of the other time where one of my neighbors upstairs like ran down. She was going on a walk, and I live on the first floor, and she like was knocking on my door because she knew that I was the nurse, because her baby started choking, and she wanted us to call 911, and she thought that her baby like stopped breathing. So she ran to my door and she started like pounding on my door. And because she knew that I knew what to do in like that kind of situation. So yeah, I'm just like glad that, you know, my neighbors feel a lot more safe that they have like somebody who is a pediatric like certified or something like that professional in the building. So if they need to like perform life-saving measures on their kids, like they know somebody who can help. Yeah, I don't have a baby, but I am the baby. You know, in the end, we were all babies. And I learned something too from, this is something that I learned in my exam, is that, so there's this guy called Erickson, and he believes that like at every age stage of your life, we have to go through like, not trial, but we have to undergo like almost like a test. And if we're not able to achieve that certain like value or something like that, then we won't be able to move on to the next one. For example, when you're a baby, it's trust versus mistrust. So for example, trust in a baby means that you're being fed, that the parent is holding you, bonding with you, you know, showing love and affection. If a baby's neglected, they will develop mistrust. They won't be able to get past that stage. And you can see that there are a lot of adults, perhaps they were neglected as babies. They don't trust other people. You see like those crazy kids who like murder their parents and stuff like that. They were like abused as babies. They were neglected. They've been in a foster system. They don't trust adults. And then they act out on that. So if they're not able to get like to build trust towards a caregiver, they'll end up with mistrust. Then the next stage for toddlers is autonomy versus shame and doubt. So now that the kids are getting a little older, they become a little more independent, right? They want to be able to say no. Like the reason why you always see these toddlers go like, no, I don't want that, is because they're trying to assert their autonomy towards you. However, if they aren't able to develop that, then they will develop something called shame and doubt. For example, if you yell at a kid for like wetting his pants, or like, you know, kids are not toilet trained. If the toddler wets the bed, or if the toddler, you know, they're exploring their environment, they're touching the hot stove, they're climbing over the couch, they're trying to fall down the stairs. Toddlers are trying to find things or find ways to kill themselves every single day. So if you are like not disciplining them, or if you're too authoritarian towards them, they will develop shame, and they will develop doubt on their abilities. They won't be able to, they won't explore, and that sort of stuff. And they'll also just feel really shameful about the things that they do. So they just won't be more assertive, right? They won't want to do more things or explore more things. So then the next one in preschool, it's more about like, right, they're her physical history of like thought. So I thought to myself, damn, so sometimes I was thinking to myself, maybe I'm regressed. Like maybe I'm still in my toddler stage, because maybe when I was a toddler, maybe my parents were too like strict on me. Maybe that's why I have so much shame and doubt and mistrust right now. So I thought about that to myself, I was like, as a kid, like, was I raised properly? And if I wasn't raised properly, but that's probably why I'm so self-conscious about myself. So a lot of things that happened in your childhood can actually like show up nowadays because you missed those milestones. You weren't able to overcome the shame and doubt during that time. So that virtue was like will, right? Then for preschool age, like 3 to 6 years old, the Erikson's psychosocial stage is the initiative versus guilt. So at this time, like obviously preschoolers, they want to take initiative, they want to do activities. However, if they're shamed for it, for example, if the same thing, if they wet the bed, if the parent will scream at them like, why did you wet the bed? Or you're gonna be grounded, like I'm gonna take away your toy or something like that, then they're gonna feel guilt, right? When the boundaries, if there are no boundaries as well, then they also might feel guilty. So that is for the play school age. And then for school age, like 7 to 11 years old, the conflict is industry versus inferiority. So in this virtue, it's like about competence, like how this is like the stage where you develop a sense of competence, right? The last stage, the preschool age, is like a sense of purpose. Like, oh, like, you know, Montessori style learning, these kids will learn how to like do a lot of like make believe, or they'll play with like play kitchens or model kitchens, or they like to pretend to be like play dress up and stuff like that. That's like developing their sense of purpose and initiative. And then the school age is like the competence. So they've developed a purpose. They know that they can do these things. How competent can they be in those kind of things? And they also develop like the self-confidence. So if the kid is not, like in school, that's why, you know, the teachers make you do a lot of tasks and will perhaps make you do a lot of group activities with your peers, because it also builds self-confidence that you can show leadership in those situations, right? However, if you aren't able to feel that, or if like your teachers keep telling you that you're terrible, or like you get grounded all the time, or you get punished all the time, you're gonna feel inferior, right? So I feel like this is the stage where a lot of people kind of regress, right? A lot of us are stuck in like the inferiority stage. Like we feel so inferior to all of our peers because perhaps when we were in grade school, somebody somewhere told us that we could not make it. Like we were not going to be successful, right? And the same thing with adolescence. So the school age years is where like people tell you, oh, like you're going to be so successful in this, or you're not going to be successful in this. That's why when I was in grade school, I really wanted to be all these things. But then after that, I realized, wait a minute, people are telling me actually I'm not that great in all these things. So now I feel really inferior and I'm not going to pursue these things. So your illusion becomes, your bubble pops in grade school, right? You can't be like, I don't know, if you don't have that support from like family or friends, you're not gonna feel right. You're not gonna feel that you have this competence in certain things. Then the adolescence is kind of similar, like kind of blends towards adolescence. It's the same thing, but the adolescence is more about finding your identity and like being confused. So that's why people undergo like a lot of like angsty phase, like who am I gonna be? And then people go through like emo phase, or maybe they like dress up differently, or they cut their hair, or they experiment with makeup, or even experimenting with drugs, alcohol, sex. Like all these sort of things are all about like identity and exploration, right? And if they aren't able to do that, then they become confused. So Erikson goes all the way to like 65, but we only had to learn up until adolescence, right? So I was thinking to myself, damn, Erikson has a point. Perhaps I've been like regressed in like several of my stages of psychosocial development, and that's why I'm like the person I am today. Do you ever think about that, guys? Sorry, I did a little bit of a lecture there, but is it so right? Studying Erikson's development makes you rethink your whole freaking childhood, and you can now blame, I wouldn't say blame things, but explain certain behaviors for certain things that may have happened in your life. Maybe you were never able to fully move on from a certain time period of your life. If you experienced a lot of trauma in like your early childhood, maybe that's why you feel a lot of shame. Maybe it's like in your school years, maybe nobody was supportive towards you, or nobody really like supported your goals or your aspirations, and that's why you feel inferior. I think that's why when I was younger, nobody really supported my dreams to become like, to go into the arts. My family really, really urged me to become the typical business mogul, doctor, lawyer, academic. Like they wanted me to be more academic. So that's like the route that I went. And now that I'm older, I have like that issue where I feel very inferior towards my passion in the arts. So that's probably one reason why. And then early adulthood. So let's explore early adulthood together a little bit, since most of us are in this stage right now. Early adulthood is 19 to 29 years old, all right? We're all within that. Most of us, I want to say, are within that age range, right? And that psychosocial stage is intimacy versus isolation. And I thought to myself, holy freaking shit. Like so many of us VTubers are in this early adulthood phase. And I could explain why VTubers are the way they are now, because intimacy versus isolation, right? It doesn't have to be just about like your peers or whatever, but this is a stage where you try to establish an intimacy and relationships with others, right? It's either that or you become isolated. And I was like, I need to overcome this isolation phase. This is why a lot of us are like becoming VTubers now, because we're trying to overcome the isolation phase and try to find some form of intimacy, whether it be like even like parasocial relationships with like your chat or like your your viewers. Maybe because they feel isolated in other ways. Like they're trying to find that sense of intimacy in certain aspects. So for me, I'm like, oh no. I think I have like intimacy and with friends. I mean, I've never dated anyone before, so maybe that's why chat is like my replacement. I was like, is it because I've never dated anyone that like now I'm here and this like considers me being on a date with somebody? Wait, that's so funny. Okay, anyways, you guys are my boyfriend replacement. That's Erickson is just proving that you guys are my source of intimacy. Oh my god. You feel like the current society is super isolated and ironically with this tech? Oh, 100%. And that's why we're all online right now, huh? I mean, heck, I could be literally be at the club right now, clubbing at 3 a.m. This is my form of clubbing right here. You don't need alcohol. I just need I got my hojicha. My 100 proof, 100 proof hojicha. And I got my fancy cream spinach with my salmon that's like cold as F right now, and I should probably eat, but I'm getting chat zone. You're my BFM. The thing is, I have friends. Like, I have friends outside of streaming, obviously. So I was like, am I going to be able to overcome this basic conflict of intimacy versus isolation? Hopefully. And then for those of you who are in middle age or curious about middle age years, the basic conflict is generativity and stagnation, which means like you want to try and figure out like how you can contribute to society, because it's usually in the 30s is where it's like the peak of your careers usually. So at this point, people are trying to figure out how they can contribute to society and also be part of a family or like raise a family, right? I mean, not a lot of people will be raising families at the time, but this is kind of like the typical age from 30 to 64, right? A lot of us will start having families, right? But at the same time, our careers are very important. So that is the conflict, is like whether you're becoming generative or you stagnate and you go through like a midlife crisis. You know, you're like, that's what midlife crises are all about. They're all like, what am I doing here? Like, am I really worth anything? Like, what is my purpose in this big blue earth, this big blue planet? Like, what is my purpose here? What am I doing here? Although I think most of us are going through this now much earlier. Like, we're having literal quarter life crises right now. It's like, what am I gonna do with my life? What am I doing? The parasocial is the thing that you wear when you jump out of an airplane? No. What if people being parasocial is just because they're feeling isolated? It's true. It's like, maybe they're just feeling isolated in real life. Oh my god. Maybe that's how we can explain yandere. What if... I guess the yanderes are more like an adolescence, but... Okay, let's try to figure out why a yandere becomes a yandere. Okay. So maybe when this yandere was in like elementary school, industry versus inferiority, right? Maybe she felt inferior towards others. And maybe that sense of inferiority is like now kind of being overcompensated by feeling wanting to be loved. Right, she wants to not feel inferior. She wants to be the complete opposite of feeling inferior. She wants to be the number one in someone's life. Now you're in adolescence and you're confused. It's either you're finding your identity or you're confused. So now she's trying to find her identity, but because in her school age, she felt inferior. Now she's trying to be the opposite of that. And she becomes overly attached. She becomes overly attached, trying to find her identity, trying to find her love, to become she thinks that being in the presence of someone 24/7 all day, every day, doing everything counts as love. Her perception of love is so warped, and that becomes her identity. And then in her early childhood years, as she begins to look for intimacy and this is when like the adult yandere start to come in. They start to do the yob things. It becomes even more warped. The intimacy just becomes part of it. Guys think they want a yandere until they look at another girl and this is, oh my god. Yanderes are so bizarre. I actually really love like the whole concept of yandere. Because there's a part of them that are just, it just breaks. Like there must have been like a part of them that must have split. I think that like yandere is a part of like dissociative personality. I don't think everybody is like born yandere, obviously. I think they must have developed a split in their personality. So I would love to like explore the psychology or even the psychiatry behind like what a yandere personality is. Like what kind of disorder would you, what kind of like DSM diagnoses would you put for yandere? Is like which one, how would you diagnose a yandere? If you know Gasai walked into a psych clinic right now, what would be their diagnosis? Right? Well, it depends on their actions, because some of them, yeah, sociopathic, could be like borderline personality, could be bipolar, could be depressive, like everything. But it depends on what they do. Oppositional, it could be also defiant, like they don't want to follow the rules of society. Yanderes have subtypes. Some of them, if you're aware, that's not what you're dealing with, and he'll probably may end up. I have no idea what you're talking about, Lawrence, but I love that. That's so cool. Anyways, let's hope that we all haven't regressed. Let's continue to work hard to find intimacy in our stage of Erickson's psychosocial. And if you count this as a form of it, then amazing. I don't know if I think this is definitely a part of it, but it's not like a huge part of it. I think it's really fun being able to chat with chat. Get to know a little bit more about each other all the time. On his deathbed, the one who got a yandere girlfriend would probably go. No! The one who got the yandere girlfriend will probably... No, not on his deathbed. He would have a deathbed. He would be in her bed, dead, but in her live bed, but still dead. She will still be sleeping with him, even though he's dead. That's a yandere. Think school days. Come on. There's no such thing as a funeral if you have a yandere girlfriend. You are immortalized. You are immortalized if you have her. She cannot see the difference between you dying and you being alive. That's like the one thing about yandere, is that they cannot tell the difference whether you're alive or dead. Doesn't matter as long as they're in your presence, right? They have like they have a disillusion, right? I mean, they have this illusion that you're still there. Oh, that works. I've heard some yanderes who literally eat their boyfriends or whatever, their crushes. Right? Wasn't there one? Was there like a yandere who ate some of them? Someone? I can't remember. I can't remember anymore. I'm thinking of Saya no Uta. I was like, did she eat him? What about menharas? I mean, that term is just like very broad. I think it just means, I think people think that it has the context of like somebody having mental illness, but for me, I think it's more focused towards like somebody being parasocial. So I think the lines are very much like blurred between like being a menhara and parasocial. And I think it's like a subset of like yandere culture, but yandere is like extreme because you don't have to be a yandere to be menhara. Like I think yandere is just like one step ahead. Like you actually do crazy things like murder or say you want to murder someone. So yeah, all yandere are menhara, but non-menharas are yandere. So I think it just means that you're like dependent in a certain way. Like Like they just are, I don't know, they want affection and they want love. And if they don't get that, then they tend to like regress. They regress into one of the Erickson stages. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah. Exactly that, Bintang. Sorry, I'm finishing off my salmon right now. Okay, I'm almost done. Almost done. Hold on a second. Nom. Finished. Overly attached girlfriend. I remember that meme. I remember that face. Yeah. Basically caps. Oh my god! Oh my god, Maxi, shut up! Fucking poopa! Fucking poopa! The first and only time we ever witnessed vor in an anime that has been aired. I'm sure there's lots of vor manga out there, but the first and only time that vor was the literal theme of the anime. Oh my god! Why did you remind me of Poopa? No, I don't. I was trying to get it out of my head for so long. No! No. Not just anime for incest for. Yes, I was literally just gonna say it's like sometimes worse because it's incest for. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm crying. Oh, Jesus Christ. So disgusting stream watch. Oh, I'm pretty sure it was vor. It's literally just about these like twins. Are they twins? I don't even know. It was a brother and sister that like ate each other for some reason. But let me try to remind myself what it was about. Cause she has like this uncontrollable hunger. Okay, he's an older brother. It tells the story of a loving brother's desperate struggles to save his sister while protecting the world from her uncontrollable hunger. Cause she literally just like can't stop eating. So he literally will like feed him. Oh my god, look at the scene. Oh my god, look at the scene. I'm gonna turn my search off. Come on, I wanna see. Oh yeah, when she was a baby, she literally ate their parents. I remember that. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Somebody was like, what the actual F is this anime? Really? You didn't watch Poopa? Oh god, you guys have to go check out Poopa. There's a lot of blood in it. There's a lot of. Let me see if I can find a clip of Poopa real quick. We watch the Poopa. Let's watch the anime preview together. Let's watch this preview. Yum 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 yum. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Excuse me? Okay, okay. Okay, okay. What the hell kind of preview is this? Why? Why? Why Oni-chan? Oni-chan janai yo. Oh, ASMR? Yummy! We love some freaking vor ASMR. Yes. Yes. Did you hear that? I was like, yuck. No, thank you. No, thank you. This came out in 2013, guys. Can you remember? Oh, I remember watching this when I was in I was in high school. I mean, like, what the actual F is this? I remember my sister watching this. She was like, this is weird. But we wanted to be weird and edgy back at the time. So we were like, yeah, poopa. Where's the small innocence I never thought I had? Wait, what kind of preview was that? And she was just like, Are-chan, Are-chan. Damn. I'm like a little bit traumatized from that. I don't want to watch that again. No. Mastication. Yum 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 yum. We love the peristalsis vibes. You missed that elfin lead arrow semi-hand-drawn animation? Me too. Speaking of elfin lead, beautiful anime. Now I kind of low-key want to watch all those like gory scenes in them. Those are my fave. The scene with the puppy was so sad. Oh my god. Don't even want to think about it. Your high school edgy was probably Higurashi. It was okay. It wasn't as edgy as like elfin lead, but I understand. The Higurashi was the edge. I remember I was so into the Higurashi torture scenes that I kept showing all my friends in school how edgy I was by like showing them those clips. Like the scenes with the nail removal scene. I was like, oh my god, if you guys can sit through the scene, then yeah, you're cool. The nail removal scene when Sadako was beating up the girl and then the girl was being tortured. I forgot her name, like the blonde hair sister girl. The little sister girl was being literally like, her intestines were being removed by one of the green haired sisters. There was that scene where she was being like dissected alive. I think that the worst in like the old school Higurashi, I think it might have been that one scene where she got dissected. I didn't like that. That one was really gross. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stream Crash, about the coffee. Coffee. Yum, yum, yum. The remake is just as good. Perfect. I have to actually get on that. I haven't watched it yet. Your friend showed you that clip. The fingernail removing scene was okay. I wouldn't say it was like the edgiest one. I'm telling you, the one where she literally gets dissected alive or tortured alive, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. I think that was my favorite one, to be fair. Euphoria. Oh, Lord. Hi, Sakia! Welcome! Thank you so much for the congratulations. You're so sweet. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we don't talk about Euphoria. That doesn't count as anime because it literally is a hentai. So we're not talking about hentai here. We're not talking about hentai. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about literal Higurashi edgy. All right. Because you could term like H anime as like a whole nother, it's like a whole nother universe of edge right there. Like there's a line. That edge is like far off the edge at this point. We're drowning. But is it edgy? It awakened the kinks of so many people. Stop it. Stop it. We were all children. Look at us regressing. Look at us. We're regressing. Erickson will be so disappointed in you guys. We've all regressed. It had some pretty amusing moments. Okay, we don't talk about it here. I'm trying to keep this stream as PG-18 as PG-18. PG-18. Can you imagine? This film is PG-21, which means anyone under the age of 21 needs. This is PG-30, okay? Anyone under the age of 30 needs parental guidance right now. All right, that's how PG this is. PG-30. This is how PG. Y'all need your parents right now. Where are your parents? This is too edgy for you. This is what caused all the yanderes. Oh my god, you're right. All of the freaking anime. The edgy anime. Oh, I swear to god, like everybody had that Chuni phase, and I think yandere is just a progression of Chuni in like a very, very, very odd and really bad and violent direction. Yeah, this stream, all my streams are PG-30. You need to watch this with your parents, because y'all are still children. Y'all are babies, okay? Y'all are too babu for me. We can get into the real explicit stuff, okay? Anywho, you get your PG-30 permission form? Are you sure? Did you guys ask permission from your parents before you could watch an Athy stream? Because if not, I could get in big trouble. Even Euphoria is even more PG-13 than the human... Don't even get me started on the Human Centipede. I don't know why people were watching this when we were in high school, but I definitely remember watching this on the school bus on the way home. Somebody downloaded a Human Centipede movie on their computer and we would just all watch it on the way home on the school bus. Okay. So let's take a look at this. Oh my god, I'm looking at the character. To be fair though, I am not gonna lie, the animation was really good for Euphoria. I miss the days of like actual good age animation. I mean, we do have like a couple good ones now, but it's just like not the same. It's not the same. Anyways, we move on. Let's just say first PG Nobody. Why are we talking about that? There are shows that are like 10 times more edgy than that in like the H sphere. What were we talking about? We were talking about Higurashi. Anyways, Higurashi, there was that one scene that I told you that was my favorite. What other scene was there? Elfen Lied, I think it just blew everyone. It just took everyone by surprise because that beginning scene with like the pencil in the head and everything was really fun. It's iconic. One of my favorites. In the newer anime, I know that for a while there weren't a lot of really, really gory anime until like Akame ga Kill came, and then it became like the super edgy anime of that season. But I'm thinking about like, if you think about more gory kind of things too, what else was really gory back in the day? Elfen Lied was one. Higurashi was one. I think there was one called like Blood Sea or something. Was it Blood Bless or something like that? Shiki was one. Yes. It was okay though. Like I think Shiki was not as gory as like all of them. Blood Plus was one of them. What else is there? Recent too, like not too long ago, I think Devilman Crybaby was had some gore in it, but not like, it wasn't too bad. It was pretty gory, but it wasn't like the goriest. Yeah, do you remember Blood Plus? Blood Plus. That one was pretty. Blood Sea or Blood Plus, whatever. One of those were pretty gory. I remember watching that when I was younger. What else is there? Somebody, I'm looking at this Reddit forum and someone wrote Poopa. I mean, Corpse Party, the game, and the anime definitely as well. Dead Man Wonderland was a little bit gory, but not too gory. Another was like very tasteful gore as well. But I'm thinking about like older ones. Oh my god. Okay, Corpse Party was pretty gory. Not gonna lie. The one scene with her like intestines, the uncensored Corpse Party, guys. The uncensored Corpse Party was pretty gory. I like that one. That was pretty good. People are saying that Fist of the North Star is pretty gory as well. Geno Cyber is an OVA that's extremely gory. Oh my god. No. Oh lord. Okay, I would definitely. I'm gonna have to check that out because that seems pretty gory in my own opinion. Oh my god. There's like this whole gif of like this guy's spine being ripped out of his head. Ew. Oh, I have to see this one. So there's this anime called Murder Princess and it's by B-Train. Okay, B-Train's one of my favorite anime studio of all time. Freaking love B-Train. I'm gonna have to watch that. What else is there that's pretty gory? Oh, Parasite, I guess people were saying is gory. Shigurui is gory. Terraformars. I don't even know what that is. Tokyo Ghoul, of course. What else is there? People are saying Higurashi. Used to be totally fine with gore as a kid, but for some reason he can't get the blood drawn out of it. Oh no! Well, me working in healthcare, like blood is literally like water for me. It's the same thing. it feels like the same thing to me. B-Train! I want to watch it. Such a good. I'm so sad when they like disbanded. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted right now. But yeah, people were saying those are pretty gory anime. We don't have a lot nowadays. Makes me really sad. I wish there were some more gory anime in like the modern anime sphere, because I feel like they'd be animated so well. I miss B-Train too, sleepy dude. Hellsing was pretty gory. Yeah. No, there's an anime called Murder Princess, but I've never heard of it before. I just saw that it was under B-Train and that the animation was so reminiscent of them that now I want to watch it just because it was animated by them. Dokuro-chan was pretty oh, yeah. And I guess like, do you guys watch or read, what do you call it? Junji Ito. I guess the Junji Ito, I wouldn't say it was like gory, but it has elements of gore in it. Also, after you're almost at 20k, Gleesky, I know! I'm at 19.9. It took so long to finally get from 19.8 to 19.9, but I'm at 19.9 subscribers. And once I hit 20k, it's gonna be a fun day. But like I said before, I don't really mind. I don't really care about subscribers at this moment. It's not my biggest priority. For me, my biggest priority is just making sure that all of my pillowls are well fed. That all of my pillowls are happy and content and well fed. That they have enough food in their little bellies. Even if it takes me having to eat food and regurgitate it into all of your little baby mouths. Owl style. That is my number one priority. Making sure all of y'all don't starve. Yeah. But I really want to watch Junji Ito's, the new one that just came out, Spiral or something, Uzumaki. I just can't find a place to watch it for free because I think they only have it on like HBO Max or something like that. So I want to see how they animated Uzumaki, because I read the whole book while I was in Japan this year. It was pretty good. Yeah. You volunteered? It's a figure of speech, silly bellies. I'm not actually going to chew up my food and give it to you guys unless you actually really want it. No, it's just a figure of speech. It just means that I will feed your minds, your bodies, and your souls with my gracious knowledge, the wisdom of the owl, so you guys will not go hungry. Oh, apparently the first episode was good and the rest of the episodes tanked hard. No! I was really looking forward to watching it. Damn it. I'm sad. Straight from the beak. Yeah! Straight from the mama owl. Anyways, I have to get ready to wrap things up a little bit because I have to wake up early tomorrow. I have so many errands to run. Oh no. I have to bring Worm Dog to the groomers. He has to get all of his worm dog hair shaved off. He has too much fur at the moment, worm fur. So I'm bringing him to the groomers in the morning. I'm not a manhunter. No, I'm not. Who can be Manetta? No Manetta. You're Manetta. I'm not Manetta. I'm not Manetta. You are. I'm not Manhattan. No, you are. Why you call me that? No. Anyways, I'm gonna go check out Uzumaki and I'll let you know how it goes. But let's do some more anime discussion streams later on. Oh my god, I would love to like talk about some old anime, or like you guys can give me some recommendation for old anime, because right now I feel like the new anime sphere is just not doing it for me. There are some cute ones, but I'm like, they're all the same. They're all the same. There's like nothing new. Or is it just the second season of your favorite anime? And I'm so bad. Unless I really, really, really like an anime, I most likely will not watch the second season for it, like Konosuba if it came out, or whatever other anime has a second season coming out at the moment. I'm just like, oh, this ReZero, like I know the ReZero has a new season. I'm like, I'm not about to watch that. I already forgot everything that happened in the first few seasons. Thank you, Minda, for being a clinic owl for 1 whole month. You're now a blue boy. I'd volunteer for athlete lectures of pediatrics at EduEd. We've been here. I can get an honorary diploma from that. Yeah, make sure you get permission from your parents though, because all of them are PG-30. Remember that. Remember that. You need to get permission. We talk about a lot of very, very adult topics that even 30-year-olds cannot comprehend. Oh, welcome, Guy. Good morning. I hope you enjoyed your power nap. Yeah. Let's watch Genocyber episode 1 together. Sure, but that would have to be off screen, obviously. Maybe I could do that as like a members stream or like a Discord watching stream. So yeah, we could do a watch long for gory anime, although I'm gonna have to mentally prepare myself for that. Although, because yeah, it makes sense because it's spooky season, so we could do that. Because it's Halloween season. We could watch gory anime and stuff like that. It would be very, very relatable for this time of year. Yeah, pertinent for this time of year. You're dying for Dungeon Meshi season 2. Okay, that, to be fair, that is something I'm gonna watch season 2 of, Charles A. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I freaking love Dungeon Meshi, and I'm trying so hard not to read the manga to spoil it for me, but I kind of low-key spoiled it for myself because I already know what happens to, well, everybody already knows what happens to Fallon, kind of, but I kind of already know what happens to Marcial, kind of, but I don't know how or why. But it just gets so dark. I really like how there's like the very, very light undertone of just like darkness and dark magic in it. Right? Right? Because like you think, oh, it's such an innocent anime. They're just cooking food. Oh my God, look, it's food and they're so happy and the main characters are dorky. And then all of a sudden they're like dark magic, blood, sacrifice, and one of the main characters literally becomes a chimera. And then Marcial is like the craziest character for me because she undergoes like so much of a character development. At first, you think everybody's just like very superficial, like their characters are very much like, oh, here's the typical like dungeon group leader, and here's like the squad leader, and then Marcial's like the mage, and then their backstories come and they're like, oh, these are cute backstories, and then you realize, oh, and then like the last few episodes you're like, oh, like blood and sacrifice. Okay. It gets really dark. Like there's some very dramatic undertones in the show, and it makes me like uncomfortable in a good way. Like it makes me feel like, oh crap, what if this gets even darker? Like how dark can this go? On top of the very light undertones, right? I'm not light undertones, like just like on top of the general like lightness of this whole concept, but the plot, because it's not like the cooking, the eating monsters and cooking part is not very, it's like not canonical plot, not canonical, I wouldn't say, it's not like a chronological plot, it's more just like side quest. Oh look, we're gonna cook this. But then when you actually look at the plot of the actual show, you're like, wow, this is so interesting and so well written, like oh my God. And the cooking's great too. It's like you forgot that the show is all about like cooking monsters and eating monsters, and then you're actually more invested in the characters and their backstories and where they're going and their relationships with each other and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, so good, right? Watch My Hero Academia? Really? Is it like that for that, Didi? Oh, you see, I've only watched like the first few episodes of My Hero, but some people were saying it is like very mature for its vibe. Like it seems very flamboyant and action shonen-y on the outside, but then it might be very deep on the inside. I think What about Inuyasha? Probably. You love it when anime does that thing. Me too. I love it when they do that thing. It thoroughly surprised me. I thought it would be just like a very casual slice of life anime. I thought it would be like Yuru Camp or something like that, where I would just watch it and I'm like, oh, I can fall asleep to this. Or I can just like, you know, cook my dinner while I'm watching Delicious in Dungeon. I was like, no, I was like 100% thoroughly invested. Like my eyes were glued to the screen the entire time. I was like rewinding everything to make sure I caught every single piece of dialogue and detail in the animation. Because I'm that type of watcher. I'm not a casual watcher. When I watch something I really want to be invested in, I sometimes have to pause it and like rewind it because I want to like catch things in the background or read things again to like fully understand it. Like I don't ever want to miss a single line of dialogue. Like when I was watching The Amazing Digital Circus, I think it took me, so like each episode for Amazing Digital is like 30 minutes, right? I think it took me an hour to finish each episode because I kept pausing in between the frames to like look at the details in the background, because that's how I invested I am in these kind of animations. But Didi says it's really good. It healed my depressed. What? It healed what? Okay, I'm gonna start watching it because of you. Just because so many of my friends are really into My Hero, and back at home there's some like family friends. I have this one family friend who's literally obsessed with My Hero. She had like a My Hero Academia birthday party. I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, Gunslinger Girl was actually the anime that sent me down the otaku path. Sleepy dude! Oh my god, Sleepy dude! Sleepy dude! I freaking love you, Sleepy dude. You guys know. You guys already know. Gunslinger Girl is literally my favorite anime. If not one of... Okay, I can't ever say I have a favorite anime, but if you could name an anime that like changed my life or like my perception of anime forever, probably was Gunslinger Girl. Like I think it was the first anime I really was like obsessed to the max. Because first of all, I was really young back then. I was like what, like 11 or 12 years old when I watched Gunslinger. I was like 12, 13. And I'd already watched a lot of anime before that. I was like watching like Rosario Vampire. I watched Sugachara. Like I watched Gaku and Alice, and you know, all those like fun shows. Jigoku Shoujo was one of them. Bleach, Detective Conan, Naruto, Rurouni Kenshin. Like I watched all those shows, but the one show that like fully hit hard, and I was just like, I wanted to self-insert myself into all of those girls all the time, was Gunslinger Girl. To the point that now, like, I'm trying so hard to collect all of the manga albums, and it's so difficult because they, first of all, stopped serialization of it for like ages ago, and it's a super rare find, and on eBay to just buy like the whole complete series is like $600+ to bid for like a whole series of Gunslinger Girl right now. It's super rare. And I was so lucky because I actually went to like a book off near where I live, and I found the first volume of Gunslinger Girl just randomly on the shelf. Like, cause I guess somebody wanted to sell their first volume of Gunslinger, because it's a secondhand store, so someone just sold their Gunslinger. I was like, I'm so lucky, I've never seen Gunslinger Girl in the store before. And I finally saw it, I was like, I have to buy it, and I did. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Oh my god. Gunslinger Girl gave me depression. Dude, Gunslinger Girl was so good. The dub was so good. I watched it originally in the dub because when I was younger, I watched like, I want to say like 80% of my anime in dub. Yeah, most of the anime I watched were dub. If they didn't have a dub, then I watched it in sub. But Gunslinger Girl dub was really good, yeah. And then I rewatched it again. Well, I've watched Gunslinger Girl like 20 million times, so I've watched it in both dub and sub, and I also downloaded it on my computer so I could watch it like offline. But you guys will really like it too, because they have like really A-list voice actresses in it. Like Henrietta is voiced by Laura Bailey. So if you guys are big fans of Laura Bailey, the main character Henrietta, voiced by her. Rico, the second girl, one of the second main character girl, like one of the other girls is voiced by Lucy Christian. Triella is voiced by, I think she's voiced by Caitlin Glass. And then yeah, so like, and then Claes is voiced by Brina Palencia. So you have like a pretty star-studded cast. I think one of the brothers is voiced by like Jerry Joel. I can't remember. And I can't remember who voices Jose, but he's also like a really, really big Funimation voice actor. Was a big Funimation voice actor back in the day. So literally everyone in like the Gunslinger Girl cast was like a big voice actor. But yeah, it literally gave me depression, but like in an edgy way. When I was a kid. If Athy likes Gunslinger Girl, what gun did Athy like? See, I would never really like got into the whole like gun like thing. I'm not like a gun otaku. I do enjoy my girls with gun genre because you guys know my favorite genre of all anime is girls with guns. But I never really got into the whole nitty gritty of like, oh, this is like a certain gun model, or like this is a certain like, you know, the names of the different types of models of guns. Though, you know, I'm not a gun otaku. I'm just more into the whole, oh, they're really cool and like badass. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of sad about Claes and her handler on Gunslinger Girl. Need to watch Gunslinger Girl. I only know the other catch a collab. Yeah, Claes and her handler and Gunslinger Girl. All of them are really depressing. All of them are really, really, really depressing. The opening sequence made your jaw drop. That was really nice. Like the Delgados. I really liked the song. Actually, the first anime cover that I did when I was a kid was that. In truth, there is no better place to be. Wait, do I still have it? Without a premonition. I think I have it somewhere on my computer that I did a cover of The Light Before We Land by the Delgados. It was so cute. Gunslinger Girl gave me depression. Right. So I never really like got into the whole gun thing, but my favorite girl was Triella. Oh, Ishon's favorite was Claes? Okay, I understand. My favorite is Triella because her backstory was... Okay, all their backstories are really freaking sad, but the episode with like Triella and how her handler found her, and then how the girl died. How the girl like died trying to save her. Oh my god. And she was like in a snuff film and everything. She thought it was her mom. And it was like, oh, so sad. She was like part of human trafficking, and she's the only one out of all the girls who somehow still has her reproductive system. So there was like this whole episode where she was trying to like protect this it's set in Italy, this like politician's daughter, but she was struggling because she also was having her period. And I thought, this is so real, because all the girls, obviously they have their like reproductive system removed because they're just weapons, but Triella's the only one that still has hers. So she still gets like experience like period cramps, and there's this whole episode where she was just like experiencing period cramps. And then there was this one scene where she was talking with Henrietta, and she was like, you know, like wincing because of the pain. And Henrietta was like, you know, I'm so sad. I'll never be able to understand what you're going through because I don't have my womb. And I'm like, no, she's the second gen. First gen was, you have to read the manga. The first gen was like, the ballerina, I forgot her name. In the manga, like they go through like who was in the first gen of how the whole thing like first started. Was it the dog loving girl? I can't remember. Either way. Right, Trill ending and backstory, so sad. How about anime about girls with weapons of war? Oh my god, are you talking about wait, what was that anime that was about like the guns, the people who were like arms dealers? That was also my favorite one. The Coco who's loco. Fuck, what is it called? Jormungand. Okay, that was pretty good. Jormungand was actually really good. I really like Jormungand. The arms dealer anime. Jormungand was so good. Her name is Coco, she is loco. Do you remember that? And I said, no. Her name is Coco, she is loco. I said, oh no. Jormungand was peak, right? Yeah. So good. That you guys reminded me of that when you were saying like arms dealer, like about arms dealers. Yeah. Coco was the arms dealer of the century. They asked, who is this asking? Is Gunslinger Girl, Maxi is asking, is Gunslinger Girl part of the Girls with Guns trilogy? No, definitely not. It's its own separate thing, but the Girls with Gun trilogy is specifically by B-Train, and Gunslinger Girl wasn't animated by B-Train. I forgot what studio Gunslinger Girl was animated by. Let's see. It was a really long time ago. So the Girls with Gun trilogy. Oh my god, it was actually animated by Madhouse. So Gunslinger Girl was animated by a Madhouse back in the day. Nice. They did free run. They went from Gunslinger Girl to free run. I love that. Jose? Who's Jose? Jose? Yeah, it was by Madhouse. They've been around for a really long time. It became a meme on Nico Nico. Yeah, definitely. Oh, I freaking love. Okay, so B-Train Girls with Gun trilogy also I love. I had like this whole conversation in another stream, but yes, it's exactly what Maxi said. It was, or not Maxi, it was who said it all day, or like Maxi said it, but El Cazador de la Bruja Noir, and the other one was fudge, what was it? El Cazador de la Bruja Noir, oh, and Madlax. Madlax was really good. Not gonna lie, like Madlax may be my favorite one out of all of them, but it goes like my favorite would be Madlax, and then El Cazador, and then Noir, and then I watched Michiko and Hachin. That was also really, really good. I watched them all around the same time as well because I was trying to search up like Girls with Guns, and that started my whole spiral into the Girls with Gun trilogy. But then it also got me into the Michiko and Hachin, and then also got me into Black Lagoon, and then it got me into Jormungand. And basically, as I was doing my research on all of like the animes that had anything remotely to do with a girl and a gun, I started watching all those animes, and then also started watching like Sabage anime. So there's like an anime called Sabage Boot, literally like this survival game club. So I started watching that one. That was really cute. And then I don't know, it just really got me into guns, but I actually have never shot a gun in my entire life, and not that I really want to. I just like the concept of it. It's pretty cool. Bye, Luminous Dave. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for being here. Have good sweeps. Yeah. Pre-written to Gunslinger Girl. Yeah, Ergo Proxy was really good. El Cazador really was underappreciated. Right, Madlax. Okay, but I'm not gonna lie. Madlax was so good. The music in Madlax was so good. Fiction Junction. Okay, anything that has anything remotely to do with Fiction Junction and Yuki Kajira. We were so blessed in that time period, guys. We were so blessed. I still listen to the Madlax soundtrack today, like to this date. Ugh. There's this one song I'm really obsessed with. It's just the one that they play throughout the entire anime. But Fiction Junction performs it, and it's obviously like composed by Yuki Kajira. But oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. You could start with Airsoft. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, yes. El Cazador OSTs made by Yuki Kajira. Yeah, that's why people were like obsessed with the B-Train trilogy, because Yuki Kajira composed for a lot of them. Anyways, the last time I heard Fiction Junction sing for an anime was for one called Okami Kakushi? Okami Kakushi? Okami Kakushi? Is that what it's called? Okami Kakushi, that's what it's called. That was a pretty good anime, to be fair. That was kind of like my start of my middle school weeb vibes. They did the opening for Okami Kakushi, and I think it's based on a visual novel as well. It's by the same people who developed like Higurashi. So if you guys are fans of like Higurashi vibe visual novel or like the themes, I think you will really like Okami Kakushi. It's not as violent or as like edgy as Okami Kakushi, but it has the same like surrealist kind of feeling about being in like a inaka kind of country vibe. And then there's like this mystery and a little bit of supernatural horror. I just remember the opening song was done by Fiction Junction, and I that was one of the first songs I ever memorized as well. That was pretty good. You guys should watch it. Yeah. Okami Kakushi. It means like, you know, like spirited away. Like the kakushi means like kami kakushi means like to be spirited away. But in this case, it's like a word play because okami means like wolf, and then they use the kami in there for kakushi. So okami kakushi. So this came out, the anime of this came out in 2010. And I remember watching this when this first came out. Yeah, that was good. Those were the good days. Oh, making me feel nostalgic. Darker Than Black was so good too. Stop reminding me of all my favorite anime. Darker Than Black. I was obsessed with Hei, and oh my god, I was obsessed with Hei and Yin. And I remember I memorized like the song, one of the songs in Darker Than Black. There was like Yin's piano solo or something like that. And I remember just like learning some piano scores from Darker Than Black. Darker Than Black 2 was like not as great as first Darker Than Black. I think people were complaining that Darker Than Black 2 was like literally like what the fuck what just happened. It was really bad. But I remember watching with my sister, and she really liked July. He's one of the characters, I think. I don't know if he's in season 1 or season 2, but he's like this little boy. She really liked July. But I really liked Yin. She was cool. I like emotionless characters like her. She's kind of cute. You're having a Sunai moment. Darker Than Black isn't that old? No, it's really old. Do you remember the opening song where it's like there's like a spoken part in the beginning? How does it go? It's literally just called Darker Than Black. The Syndicate, Howling, that was the opening song. Oh my god, by Abridging. Oh wow. Yeah, this one. It was like, a night sky full of cries, hearts filled with lies. The contract isn't worth the price. A soul pledged to the darkness. Now I've lost it. I know I can kill. The truth is just beyond the grave. No. Remember that? Oh my god, that opening! I remember it! Oh my gosh! Okay, Darker Than Black was really good too. What else was there? Black Butler. Oof! My friends were showing me a lot of Black Butler Fujoshi stuff, like my friends were married to Sebastian. They were like changing their Facebook names to be like their name Sebastian or something's Michaelis. Like they were unofficially married to Sebastian. My sister was unofficially married to what's his name again? Frick. What's the name of the little boy? Sebastian and why am I blanking out on his name? Wait. CL? Phantom Hive? Sorry, I was thinking Phantom Hive. So my sister was unofficially married to him because she's low-key a Shota-con. I think she really loved Shotas back in the day because all of her favorite characters from the anime were literally Shota. So she liked CL, she liked Sho from what is it? Utano Prince Sama. What else did she watch? So there was this anime called Fudge, what was it called? See, how come I can only remember the anime by the opening song? The The name of the main character's name is Shiro. And I just remember it was about like these gangs, and there's like a cat girl. Please, okay, let me try to explain the anime to you, and somebody please remind me of the name of this anime or else I'm gonna die. So the main character is Shiro. He has white hair. It's like very vibrant and bright like anime, and there's like a cat girl, and then there's like a bunch of gangs, and K-Project, that's what it is. Oh my god, thank you so much. I only remember, once we slowly come and kiss, tell me what's your name. I just remember the Angela opening song from that anime. Anyway, yes, K-Project was the name of that. I was trying so hard to remember it. I only remember the opening song. Yes, it was K. So she was really into the main character for K. She freaking loved K so much. My sister was obsessed with that. Do you remember? I didn't understand what that anime was even about, but I watched it because it was very colorful, very vibrant. The animation was interesting. It had cat girls, it had little girls, it had little boys, it had older girls, older boys, it had everything. It had like buff everything. It was like, it's not like Tokyo Revengers vibes, but it kind of reminded me of like Durara in a way. Oh my god, I love Durara. I actually have the light novel of Durara. Tokyo Gangs. Oh, it made you dizzy? Yeah, I feel like people low-key were getting epilepsy from that show. It reminds me of like there was like another anime that came out after that had a similar color palette to it. Was it called Handshakers? It reminded me of the color palette of K so much. I was like, why is everything so bright? Why is everything so saturated? Why is the bloom saturation is like up to 100%? Durara was really fun. I think I had a lot of friends who also were unofficially married to what's the guy's name? The black wears a black hoodie all the time. The gangster guy. Izakaya or something. Izakaya as a Maya. What's his name again? Isaiah, or that's his name. Isaiah is his name. Isaiah Orihara. Yeah. My friends were like a little bit like they were unofficially married to him, even though he's a little bit of a psychopath. They all loved him. My friends were all obsessed with like with psychopath. The more psycho, the better. Anyways, yeah, I remember they were just like they were so hot for him. They were so hot for Isaiah. With Fujoshi. No, Hitalia! No, Hitalia, no! Oh god, okay, so we were like peak 2010 vibes were oh my god, speaking of Isaiah, my friend Dady, I've been looking at his Wikipedia fandom page, but apparently his online chat room name was Kanna as well, similar to Dady's name. Kanna or Chrome. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, were you inspired by Isaiah? Interesting. Lol. I know, right? It's literally exactly the same Japanese characters. That's so crazy. But anyways, let us talk about anime another day, because you can keep spitting out anime right now, and I'm going to just keep going down this rabbit hole, and I will keep telling you guys about all this anime because it just I have a lot under my belt, trust me. I was actually talking to one of my coworkers the other day. She watches a lot of anime too, and she said the first anime she ever watched was well, she watched Shugachara when she was a kid too, but the first one she ever watched was Chobits. And I cried a little bit on the inside because Chobits was such a throwback. And I just found out that one of my coworkers has a freaking tattoo of a Shugachara tattoo on her leg. Like, what? Hello? So I have to go. I didn't get to chat with her the other night, but I have to talk to her and I'd be like, can you please show me your Chugachara tattoo? Because I think she literally has a tattoo of Ron, like the pink one that Amu has, the heart one, the spade one. She has a tattoo of Ron on her leg somewhere. Yeah. Chobits is a classic, I know. Chobits opening. Ooh, 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 yeah, ooh, 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 yeah. Didn't I try to sing that one time for my like kawaii karaoke? I think I did. Let me be with you, ooh, 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 yeah, ooh, 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 yeah, ooh, 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 and na 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 na, and na 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 na, na 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 na. So good. Now you have to get a fruits basket tattoo. No tattoos, please. I don't want to regret my tattoos in the future. Oh, wait, don't forget about Black Lagoon. I talked about Black Lagoon, Steven. I have Black Lagoon merchandise at home. I have this like a metallic box with Remy on it. She's my favorite character. She's so badass. Sometimes I think to myself, damn it, I really want to be cool like her. I just want to be really potty mouthed and like really confident and really cool and fighting. Like the scenes, one of my favorite scenes in Black Lagoon is near the beginning when they like shoot up the whole bar and then everyone's like going after them and then she's so freaking OP and she literally managed to shoot everyone down without even a single scratch. Ah, she's so cool. Ooh. She's so cool. I know, Sonos. I was thinking of that. I heard Fuwamoku did a cover of the Chobits opening. That was the first thing that popped into my head when I sang it. I was like, oh wait, didn't Fuwamoku just do a cover of this? Yeah, it was so cute. Your toxic trait is thinking you can fix Roberta, lol. So many good anime out there. Ugh, Black Lagoon was good. What other like anime that were there with like guns? Well, recently there was that like Lycoris Recoil and I thought I would like it. Cause Lycoris Recoil has like a very similar vibe to like Gunslinger Girl. Where it's about like assassins and the cute girls doing cute things but also being assassins. Yeah, it was alright. It was cute. It was very Yuri baited, but it was cute. Not gonna lie. Didn't I mention I needed to wake up early? Yes, but we have to go through this first. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we have El Cazador de la Bruja, Black Lagoon, Michiko de Hachin. I love how those are like the first 3 things that come up. Gun Gale Online, okay, nobody really cares. Upote, Sabagebu. Noir. Lycoris Recoil is there. There was I love how Gunslinger Girl is there. Let's see, what is this? Anime and manga. Aria and the Scarlet Ammo. I loved that one. Wait, that was a good one. I remember the opening. It was like I think Mayan sang the opening song. So Aria of the Scarlet Bullet, it was pretty good. The Scarlet Ammo. What else did I watch? Corpse Princess. Yes, we love okay, Corpse Princess was my favorite. I'm going through this like TV tropes right now, Girls with Guns anime. I watched Aria of the Scarlet Ammo. I watched the B-Drain trilogy. I watched Black Lagoon. I've seen Corpse Princess or Shikabane Hime. Literally one of my favorite ones. Oh my god, forget Shikabane Hime, so good. I watched, what else did I watch? Gunslinger Girl. It's so funny because it lists Gunslinger Girl and then in brackets is like, though you should have known from that title. Oh, Kite was kind of crazy. Do you guys remember Kite? The OVA. Yeah. Kite! I remember watching that. Oh yeah, you remember Kite? It was about an assassin. So I watched Kite. What else is there? That was pretty much it. Yeah. Kite has an H version of it, but there's a censored version. So it's not really an H. It's not an H. No. I personally don't think it was, but there is like a scene in it that is like controversial. I remember when I was watching it, people were like, yeah, there's like a controversial scene, if you know what I mean. But it's not officially an H. It's an OVA. Definitely, but I don't think it's officially an H. It had an H scene in it, yeah. They actually made a live action version of it, did you know? They made a live action movie in 2014 with Samuel Jackson. I have never watched that one, and now I'm kind of like interested to see what it is. Can't believe they made a live action of freaking Kite. I didn't even know that. That's crazy. You know about that? I didn't know that about that. That's crazy. You have it on VHS? Damn. It's art. I mean, back in the day, it's like, I think anything pre-2000 is like, would you consider it H at that point? Or were they just trying to be edgy, you know? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kite is always H. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you're right. You are right. It is pretty H. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It is pretty H. Which version of Kite did you watch? I watched the censored version. I watched the non-H version when I watched it first, originally. So, it's 53 minutes if it's uncensored, but it's 48 minutes if it's censored. So I watched the censored version. That's why I was like, Okay, Wikipedia does coin it as a hentai. It is a hentai. Okay. I'm say so. Okay. I am. Oh, another one that I really liked before I go to bed. This one, last one. And if you guys know it, I'm gonna be so happy. I think Tia said that he knows this one. But another really cool one I really liked is Read or Die. If you guys have watched, it's about like 3 sisters with really cool powers. Let's go, Read or Die! Yes! Wait, you guys know my favorite anime? I'm crying. This makes me so happy. When I was like a kid, nobody understood me. Nobody watched the same anime as me. And now I have so many friends who watch the same anime as me. I'm so happy. Yeah, I know. You only the one with the paper? Yeah. You like the OVA better than the series? Oh, definitely. The OVA was so much fun. But the series was fun too, so you can't deny it. I was just really, really intrigued with the concept of like the 3 sisters with really cool book powers. Right? Paper powers, yeah! Guys, you have to rewatch Read or Die. This is a time when like anime girls didn't have to look cute. They were cute with their personalities, alright? They didn't have to look cute. You liked them because of their personalities. Nowadays, anime girls are too flashy. We need like the basic anime girl image with more of just their personality to shine, okay? We need that. Series had 3 girls. Oh yes, Yomiko. That was the main girl's name. She was the one who like joined after the 3 sisters. Yes. The Peppa Powers. We left the Peppa Power girls. Watched Sonic X as a kid. You can actually watch Sonic X on Netflix now, which I find really funny. I saw it and I was like, wait, Sonic had an anime? Forgot about that. So yeah, action spy thriller were like my favorite back then. This also came out around, the anime came out, yeah, when did the anime come out? Hold up. It came out in 2003 to 2004, which is like peak. I feel like it's just peak peak year, because that's also when like Gunsinger Girl came out. That's when like the B-Train trilogy came out. I liked it. Although somebody, okay, so let me read this Wikipedia blurb. The manga was positively received. However, somebody from this is a review website, argued that the manga was pretty gross and said that the characters were always way less empowered than in the TV show, and criticized it for using kidnapping, near rape scenes, sexual assault, and gore. So apparently the manga wasn't so great, but the TV show was okay. The TV show was good. Apparently the manga is not really worth your time. Yeah. Has anyone done Read or Die X Spy X Family crossover art? That would be so cool. But I feel like not a lot of people have watched Read or Die, so I wouldn't know. Yeah. Excuse me. Like Hanasakuri Uroha? Oh my god, that was peak anime as well. Oh my god, why are you reminding me of all these anime? Hanasakuri Iroha, that was really good. There was like Red Data Girl. There was The Lull of the Sea. There was, what else was there? Sankarea. Oh my god, Hanasakuri Iroha was so good. It was so good. That's how I got into like Nanoripe. Because Nanoripe, I think, got really popular after making literally all of the anime openings for Hanasakuri Iroha. But I remember... The opening songs are so good! I can sing all of like the Hanasakuri Iroha openings. I had those on repeat all the time. Yeah. Grandma was best girl, I agree. She was too angsty. I liked my favorite character. Oh, I don't know if we're talking about Hanasakuri Iroha anymore, but in Hanasakuri Iroha, I really liked the character, the one who worked in because the whole concept is that there's this girl who kind of, I wouldn't say like runs away from home, but she basically tries to find herself by working at a like a ryokan. And while she's there, obviously she makes mistakes. She like has a crush back at home. She just learns how to be a person and how she finds herself like try to work there. And I really liked the character, the girl who she works with in the ryokan, the older girl with the black hair. She's my favorite character. She's a little bit strict, but I think she was pretty cool. Man, this talk opens up your watch list. It's a pretty old watch list though, so I don't know if you would be willing to watch some older anime. But those are just things that like make my synapses start firing and it basically triggers all these memories of when I was younger, because I remember the moments I would watch them too. I'm literally in my room on my bed watching them under the covers late at night without my parents knowing on my little MacBook at like 3 in the morning when I really should be sleeping. And that's probably what stunted my growth as a kid, is that I kept binging anime. And then by the time iPhones started to come out, I started watching so much anime on my iPhone that every day when I could go to school, I'd be so tired and so sleep deprived because I was binging an anime. And I remember I would be able to finish a whole season of an anime in like 2 nights. I'd watch 6 episodes one night and then I'd watch the other 6 episodes when I get home the other night. Or actually, I would be able to finish a whole season of anime in one night. Because if you think about it, each episode's what, 20, 30 minutes? 12 episodes divided by 2, 6 hours. If I was supposed to be sleeping for 8 hours, 6 of those hours were spent watching a whole season of anime. And I only really got 2 hours to sleep every night. So those are the days when I would just like binge an anime every night. Those are fun days. Fun days. Yeah, you can binge a season in a day. Yeah. Anyways. Anyways, we have to talk about this another time. I could go down on a list of all the animes I've ever watched. We should go to my anime list, and we should go through every single decade of anime starting from like 2000, and I should go through every single one and be like, oh, I remember this one, and we should talk about it, because I'm glad that you guys know, because not a lot of people have watched the animes that I've watched. I think especially with the girls with guns, I think when I talk with my friends, most of them have only watched like newer anime, or they started watching anime really late, or they don't watch a lot of like the niche anime that I really like. They only watch like mainstream ones like Sword Art Online or Attack on Titan, or like they watch the older ones like Rurouni Kenshin or Inuyasha or Cardcaptor Sakura. Like those are the ones that they really like. But me being a seasonal anime watcher, I watched literally every anime every season. I had like my favorites from each one, and those were the ones that really like, yeah. If you guys have any recommendations, by the way, for any other Girls with Gun animes that I should watch, and so that I could finally finish off my my quest of watching every Girl with Gun anime there is, I'm saving Lycoris Recoil for a good time. So I'm gonna watch Lycoris Recoil when I have time, maybe on vacation. So I'm gonna do that. But if there are any other anime that you recommend, please let me know. Gunsmith Cats is one of them too. The only, I should definitely do that. Dirty Pair. These are all really old though. So if anything that's like not too old, maybe not anything that's not like pre-2000, then you can recommend. Because if it's like 1990 anime, I mean, I'll watch it, but like, I think it just throws me off a little bit. If it's like a 1990s anime. Yeah. Maybe like late 1990s to like 2000s. At least. Does Girls with Panzer and It's a Sort of Related movies count as Girls with Guns? Probably. Do I know Eureka 7? Yeah, I've heard of Eureka 7, but I don't remember it though. I don't remember. It's even rare to see VTuber talking about edgy anime. Really? Really? I'm an otaku, that's why. This is why I've been disowned in society. That's why I have no friends. Because people think I'm a weirdo. I'm a freak. I'm a weirdo. I've watched Kino no Tabi. I watched Kino no Tabi when it came out. I watched the 2017 version, not the 2003 one. I watched the 2017 one. It's really good. It's like Mitsuko to Hachin vibes, where she's literally on a bike and she just goes around and she goes on adventures, meets new people. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And a talking motorbike, yeah. Princess Principal. I watched Princess Principal. It was so good. I love Princess Principal. It was so cute. The girls were so cute. It's one of just like not my my guilty pleasures, but I mean it wasn't like super memorable for me, but I did remember like I love the vibes of Princess Principal because first of all the girls were really cute, and then I really like the steampunky vibes from it too. Yeah, Princess Principal's great. Right, it was cute. It was cute. It was cute. It was cute. Girls with Guns is really niche now you talk about it, man. I think you really have a taste for things. The opening is a banger. Right, wait. Try to remember. Princess Principal opening. I'm trying to... Where's it go? Hey! It's like a very jazzy. I just remember it was like... Oh goodness. Oh, the vocals in this. And it's in English. Okay, great. I loved it. Okay, perfect. Thank you for reminding me. You guys are great. It's the one that's sung in all in English. Yeah! Magic Girls with Guns would include Izara and Yojo Senki, Tanya the Evil. Oh, Tanya of the Evil was so cute! Tanya of the Evil was so good! I freaking also I'm like obsessed with Aoi Yuki. So any anime with Aoi Yuki in it is already like a 10 out of 10 banger for me. Alright. you can tell just like by the way that I watch anime, like what my favorite things are. I obviously love like strong female characters, but I'm also really into, oh my god, Izetta was really cute. I liked Izetta. Izetta was so pretty. Anything with like redhead girls. I remember watching that. I don't think I really got so much into it. I watched like a little bit of it, but I couldn't really get into it. I watched more of like Tanya that season, but I'm into like powerful female psychological. What else was there? I also really like if you think about like Symphogear kind of vibes, like those idol fighting, but not too much mecha. So Symphogear is one of my favorite ones of all time. I watched the AKB 0048 anime as well. That was really good. Because of that, I looked into Macross a little bit, and I really liked Macross. Mahime! Oh, fun fact, she voiced Kino in 2017, but she voiced a side character in 2003 when she was a kid. She started actually voice acting really, really young. And I remember in one of the anime, she was like literally a kid. I think it was in like... What was the anime where she was like the characters, she had like red eyes, and it was like... Fudge, I'm gonna cry. Okay, what is, let me see, Groundless. Is it a manga? Ooh, this looks really good. Okay, I'm gonna read this. I'm reading this right now. I like the characters, the fact that the characters have guns in them. I'm reading this manga right now. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to think of the anime that Aoyuki first voiced in when she was a real... Kino's Journey was that good? She was in Kurenai! That's the name of the anime that I watched. Yeah. So she was in a lot of like some of my favorite anime when I was a kid. Aishiteru Baby, for one. Aishiteru Baby was kind of crazy. Have you guys ever watched or heard of an anime called Aishiteru Baby? This literally came out in like 2004. It's just about like a high school kind of like delinquent guy who ends up having to like raise his like cousin or something like that. Yeah. And then there's like a girl in his class that he kind of, I don't know, like starts a relationship with, and they start to raise her together, and it's really cute. And what was really prominent about it is that they actually did get a child to voice act like the kid, the 5-year-old. So they got like an actual kid voice. I think I remember some people memeing about the show being like, yo, the main character, the kid, is so freaking annoying. Like the voice when she cries was like the most annoying voice I've ever heard in my entire life. And I'm not gonna deny that fact because it was pretty annoying. But yeah, she was like a little kid when it came out. I think she was only like 10 years old when the anime was like, when it came out. So yeah, Aishiteru Baby was one, but one of the first roles that Aoyuki got is called Kurenai. And it's about like this older, this 16-year-old, like this high school student who basically becomes like a bodyguard for this little kid, for a little girl. And she has like the Lollibaba vibes in that. You could already tell what kind of characters Aoyuki was gonna encompass in her career, because in Kurenai, like her characters was already like a very Ojo-sama type of character, and now you can see that she like voices a lot of like really Ojo-sama type characters in her run. It's kind of funny to think about that. Yeah. You basically just remember the memes, right? It was not Usagi Drop. It was like, Usagi Drop is like not as, no, it was like a little different. It has this similar genre where it's about like an older male like taking care of a little kid and their trials and tribulations. But I liked Aishiteru Baby because it not only focuses on him like raising the kid, but also focuses on his character development as in becoming a better person, and also his like a romantic relationship with his classmate. And I shipped them so hard. Like they were such a good couple. I was like, damn, I really want them to get together, get married, and like raise this kid for the rest of their life because they're so cute together. It was like buddy daddies. I loved buddy daddies. But they need to start casting more actual like age appropriate. They need to start casting properly aged like voice actors for like anime, because Buddy Daddies was great. But you could, and even for Anya, I mean, Anya is great, like her voice actress is great and stuff, but you can already immediately tell it's not a kid like voicing the kid. I personally really like hearing kid voice actors because of like, it's more realistic in that way. Like Barakamon was one of them. That was a really good one that had like a kid voicing in it. Dororo. So funnily enough, the person who voices Dororo is actually the person who voices the kid in Barakamon. Like it's the same voice actor. Or voice actress. The same with like Ashituda as a baby. There's like it was like a little kid voicing the main character. So they need more of that. I think they need to bring back more of that. I personally like that. Yes. They should, but I guess it's hard to find well-trained VAs that are kids. Most of them are actually just like, they're actual like TV actors. Like Aoi Yuki was a child actor before she became a voice actress, so that's why. Nagu! Yeah, Nagu! To be fair, kids can be difficult to work with, true. Damn it. I'm gonna raise my child to become a voice actor. I'm gonna vicariously live through my child. No, I'm not gonna be one of those parents, but in the back of my head, I'm like thinking, oh, damn. If I want to vicariously live through my child, maybe I'll just make my child become a voice actor instead of me become one myself. Anyways, I'm gonna try and read this groundless thing that you guys are recommending. I really love the main character of it already, this manga. She has like blonde hair with an eye patch. She looks really cool. She looks really cool. Let me read the synopsis. It says, due to a pandemic, the island of Alistria is quarantined. There have been resource shortages and the population has grown disillusioned. A group of revolutionaries known as the Alistrian Liberation Citizen Army rises from the unrest, seeking to overthrow the government. Civil war proves inevitable. Sophia Waldron has a happy life with her young daughter, wedded to a good man that accepted her regardless of her mixed blood. However, the violent revolutionaries murder her husband and kidnap her daughter. With nothing to her name and family law, Sophia seeks vengeance for her grief. Groundless follows Sophia, an unexpectedly talented sniper who fights alongside the colorful militia of the town of Dasha as they look for ways to ensure the survival of the town. Sophia and the partisans must constantly ward off the threat posed by the brigands known as the Liberation Army. Ooh! Is this Taken? Is this basically Taken, the manga? Yes? Ooh. Also, I love how the main character is literally a mom. Like, mommy? Hello, mommy vibes. We love a mommy sniper. Yes, mommy. Shoot that gun, mommy. We need more mommy snipers out there. Where's the mommy gun gang? We don't need little girl gun gang. We need mommy gun gang. Can I start that revolution? Can I be the start of the mommy gun gang? Where we just get a bunch of like mommies or like older sister-like characters with guns. I'm going to coin the new genre, right? Girls with guns. What about moms with guns? Where are the moms with guns anime? Yes. You want to be one? Yes. Yo, a manga anime with a protagonist who happens to be a mother definitely sounds interesting. Yes, it's like that anime where it's like I became a mom, like reincarnated isekai mom in another world or something like that. I got isekai'd with my mother or something. That was like a really funny one. That was a really, really funny one. Anyways, I digress. Thank you so much for humoring me with that conversation. That was really fun. I love talking about anime and stuff, but let's talk about this another day. For now, I'm going to wrap up stream real quick so that I can get a little bit of sleep before I go bring my dog to the groomers. But I will look forward to our stream on Sunday, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. Thank you so much for all the congratulations on my exam. This is a great celebration, by the way. It's just a really chill, cozy clinic. Very typical cozy clinic vibes. We went through a real nostalgia trip together. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversations as well. And I will see you guys soon. All right, don't go too far. Please stay safe and healthy. Make sure you go get plenty of rest. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Have a good one. Good night, thee. Sleep tight, thee. Don't let the bed bugs bite the thee. And night, night, night. See you on Sunday for some more Minecraft horror maps. If you guys want to have some more fun, see you then. Good night.